1,135 episodes of this show. Holy smokes. It's been a long time. It's a lot of work from a lot of people. And a lot of good times, a lot of bad times, but a lot of good fun. And this strong possibility that the show is over. Strong possibility.
Oh, no.
I am joined tonight by the great comedian Dave Landau.
Hello, how are you?
You want to scoot over this a little bit?
Oh, sure, whatever you want.
Then you look better on camera.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Is it good?
Yep. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're here at the old studio. The old studio where it all began. Actually, it didn't begin here. It began in Jersey, but Raymond's hanging out too.
Wait, what's this new studio look like? I thought it was the same.
What's up, guys? And actually, I was planning on not doing a show at all. But
wait, did he set this up himself today? Oh no, because I see.
Long time. It's a lot of work from a lot of people. And a lot of good times, a lot of bad times, but a lot of good fun. And this strong possibility that the show is over. Strong possibility. I am joined tonight by the great comedian Dave Landau.
Hello, how are you?
So he's not centered on camera. Uh-oh.
You want to scoot over this a little bit?
Oh, sure, whatever you want.
Then you look better on camera.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is it good?
Yep. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're here at the old studio. The old studio where it all began. Actually, it didn't begin here. It began in Jersey, but Raymond's hanging out too.
What's up, guys?
And then this camera's not level. Maybe that's intentional though?
And actually, I was planning on not doing a show at all. But Dave's here. He traveled all the way here. I felt kind of bad that all of this begins to happen right when he's showing up, and I kind of was like, oh man, I don't want to screw Dave up.
You're fine. I'm good at ruining shows, so I'm perfect. I'm a great guest for you.
And Raymond was also here too, and I figured for what the conversation is going to be, because this is not going to be a news show, I figured it'd be good if you hung out, because you started as just like a fan of the show, and you super chatted every day, and then you came to work here. And there's a handful of people here who are like that.
Yep.
But
me too.
Yeah, Serge. And but you were sitting here already. Yeah. And I was like, okay. And then no disrespect to Hannah Claire, who was here, but I really didn't want to shoot.
Wait, the boards behind him are fake? Is that true? I don't actually know.
Yeah, Serge. And but you were sitting here already. Yeah. And I was like, okay. And then no disrespect to Hannah Claire, who was here, but I really didn't want to do a show, so I just said it probably would be better if you didn't work on the show tonight. And so apologies to Hannah Claire, because
Sam Cedar called you out today on behalf of his son. Link the timestamp. We'll watch this next.
she does a good job. But yeah, I think this might be the end. This might be the end. Cascade failure. We are well off. It is not a financial thing. We make a lot of money, but piece by piece, the structure becomes bigger and bigger and bigger until it becomes impossible to manage.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we hit today. So it's like there's a series of, I'd never call out anybody personally or individually. No.
Right.
There's also legal ramifications to assaulting employees. Oh, that's true. But I would just say that compounding, laziness. Yeah, that builds up over time, which adds more and more workload to me and Allison to get to the point where we're just like, can't do it. And it's tough because we've this is not a for a lot of people, they're hearing this right now like, holy crap, why is this happening? I was like, oh, we've been talking about this for months.
Yeah.
Wow, for Amaroni, thank you for the 10 gifted tier 1 subs.
And then it's fascinating because 3 months ago, we're going over finances, and I'll break it all down for everybody. We do really well. Our members, you guys seriously do sustain us, and that allows us to have what I would call a safe profit margin every month. That means we're capable, we're not worried.
Why is he saying, I'll break it all down, and then he's not going to break anything down? When he says we have a safe profit margin every month, he's making it sound like they're our expenses are 50K, but our profit is 70K, we do okay, right? Rather than the fact that he's probably making, I would imagine Tim scores an easy 7 figures a year in net, in net profit, not grossing, not before expenses. He probably nets a cool 1 mil plus a year from this job, at least.
That if we have a bad month, people are gonna get fired, or anything's gonna shut down like that. And that's why I'm always we need members, so that we can try and make new things and grow and do bookings and make things good and better and all that stuff. And the problem is, even with all of that, without a proper CEO who isn't hosting the show, it's not possible.
Yeah, you have to have somebody to go to that's not you.
Yeah, and so
I've learned that on my own show.
And you need a hierarchy, like any business needs a hierarchy.
And we have that. I mean, we don't have that many people for his company.
Oh shit, Tim honestly talking business and not dick sucking on some stupid shit.
Yeah, you have to have somebody to go to that's not you.
Yeah, and so
I've learned that on my own show.
And you need a hierarchy, like any business needs a hierarchy.
Neither of those two things are true. Okay, what Tim is talking about is, because this is the thing I run into a lot, okay, is there is a skill set and there is a list of responsibilities that go into running a company, doing full-time work for the company, and also running the company as a full-time job will burn you out super fast. It's a very hard thing to do. Not recommended. It's not a good use of time. It's very difficult. You can't wear both hats at the same time. You just don't have time in the day. One of the things that is that has been impeding me so much, right, is trying to be a full-time streamer and doing all the podcasting stuff and traveling and researching. Like you can't to wear all of like the hats at the same time is very, 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 very difficult, bordering impossible. And even if you are doing it like I do, it's not recommended because you're just wasting time. You should be creating content or doing what you're better at rather than also trying to run the business at the same time. So that's probably what Timmy's running into. It's a bad thing.
October 7th.
God, you interrupted me with a stupid link and I was about to ban you, but
Because we know that the IDF killed their own people on October 7th. Let's just start with the obvious. So much has been made of October 7th. They call it the worst day for the Jews since the Holocaust. They say out of all the wars.
it needed to. This is like a 9 out of 10. For it to have been a 9.5 or a 10 out of 10, it needed to start and end with Frogan speaking because she says unhinged shit about this, and then it would have been. That's still really, really good on its own, though. Jesus Christ. Okay, sorry, this has to get. Massive Trump article out. Why? What's going on? Wait, okay, hold on. Back to Timmy Tim.
And we have that. I mean, we don't have that many people for his company. It's like I think we have like 30 something employees.
Yeah.
And it,
30 employees is not that many. He's probably got like 4 W-2s at the most. You've got 30 full-time? How many full-time? How many W-2? 30 employees? No shot. 30 employees is like medium-sized business. No, what all do they do? Why? Maybe if he has like 15 shows or something, but... Aren't Tim's expenses like 5 to 10 times yours? I'd imagine it's more complicated when you suddenly lose Russian revenue. I seriously doubt Tim's costs are that much greater than mine. I mean, the most expensive thing is probably the massive compound that he has. But like all of his other stuff, I'm not shitting on him from a working perspective, but it's not like none of the other things that he does are high cost, right? He's not like flying around the world and shit all the time and everything, right? He just, the biggest cost is probably just the house, no?
Show.
And yeah, you need a hierarchy like any business needs a hierarchy.
and we have that. I mean, we don't have that many people for his company. It's like I think we have like 30 something employees.
Yeah.
And it's and then like 10 contractors. But it's
30 employees and 10 contractors? I don't believe him. No shot. You have 30 employees? For what? And 10 contractors? What the fuck does he employ so many people for? You're on a full-on like medium-sized business. That's crazy. That's a empire.
largely for the external projects that we are trying to do. The issue now is we can get rid of we can get rid of the external projects, and that's a lot of people that are part of the.
What are all the external projects? I'm so curious what he's talking about.
We can get rid of the external projects, and that's a lot of people that are part of the crew and everybody loves. And the challenge thing is like when we go through this and we're like, maybe we need to, we want to increase the buffer, we want to increase marketing. How do we sustain this show? How do we build more memberships? Well, the core product is Timcast morning show, Timcast IRL, and then the culture where we're trying to make something. And so we got to do marketing, we got to do travel. Well, I can't travel. So if I get invited to go on some, I can't do it.
Yeah, you can't do
because
any of the shows.
if I'm not doing IRL, I have to be dealing with paperwork on all these other projects. We've been trying to get a coffee shop for 2 years. I'm done.
Yeah,
It's
longer
over.
than that.
Over
Now.
Yep, over. And so
A coffee shop? Okay. What all paperwork? Bro, DocuSign that shit. Man, when people send me PDFs, I'm like, bro, even on my $2,000 computer, do you know how long it takes me to open Acrobat, Adobe, whatever bullshit? Give me the DocuSign, motherfucker. All right?
the conversations I've had with family is like, I am under no illusions that I have the capability to make this company what it could be. It's
My favorite thing is, what was this? Some lawyer that wanted me to sign some shit. And he was like, we need wet signatures. And I'm like, bro, the printer is wet when you print it. And I think I had, I don't even think it was Nino. It was some other system. Obviously I'm doing the Adobe like signature thing. Like, bro, I'm not fucking signing this shit. And the lawyer got it. He's like, is this your real signature? Because it's the perfect, like, and I'm like, yeah, that's my real signature. And he's like, are you sure? And I'm like, is the government going to come after me for Like, what's the crime? I'm forging my own signature? Like, what the fuck? Take it. Accept it. My God.
I have the capability to make this company what it could be. And I hear all these things. No, Tim, you're wrong. You're wrong. Oh, come on. We've been trying to get a coffee shop open for 2 years.
Yeah.
Clearly, I cannot do it. My feelings are not hurt when I'm like, well, I can't do it. I skateboard every day. I'm trying to do a nose mail nollie impossible out. I can't land it, and I'm like, maybe I'll get it one day, but I'm trying as hard as I can. But I am not going to cry and pretend that I can do something I can't do. So, ultimately, what it comes.
How many hours a day is he live for? What does he do with all of his time? He can't travel ever. Are they building the coffee shop by hand? Not to take away from like the paperwork and all that. Like, it is annoying. It is frustrating, especially for business related stuff. I'm sure there are like meetings and appointments and stuff, definitely. But how many hours a day does he stream the show? I'm so curious.
Down to is we had our like, I don't know, 12th studio failure this morning.
The new one.
Yeah, the new studio failed. And, my attitude.
He should pay me to come in and set it up. God, I should walk you guys downstairs through everything. My God. You could throw the whole circuit breaker in my studio right now, and everything would run flawlessly. Everything is on battery backup. Every cable is tied down. You could rip the microphones out, and there's backup audio through shotgun mics and the cameras. It's perfecto right now, okay? We haven't had any issues in weeks, okay? People will meme about it, and it runs automatically. No producers, nobody scene switching. Just beautiful.
Dude, with that is kind of just like, yeah, if we can't make cameras and a computer work, and despite all the previous failures we've had, there's not a single person here who can make sure that either the studio is operating or secondary studio is operating. We've gotten to a point in the company where everyone's kind of just kicked their feet up and said, I'm doing what I need to be doing.
Yeah.
And then that just means I'm Sisyphus pushing the rock up. The problem is people are sitting on the rock. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So that's
I've
why
been
I was
there.
like, I'm not going to do the show tonight.
Well, what do you want? Like, what do you want out of this? That's an important thing to ask yourself. What does Tim want?
Well, I wanted to complain on the internet.
Well, let's do it.
So my here we are.
Look at what you've managed to build.
I know, it's incredible.
So you got to give yourself credit for that. So why get rid of it? I mean, you wanted to complain on the internet. You did it. I mean, you started by going out to protest, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, depends on where you say it all begins. Like, I was making skate videos on YouTube.
Yeah,
and
long
then that
before
turned
that.
into, after like 5 skate videos, filming at Occupy Wall Street, which turned into live streaming, which turned into working for Vice, working for
Right.
Fusion, and then starting my own company, and then transforming that slowly into a podcast. And then, here we are. So when I say complain on the internet, what I really mean is, I was talking to some friends of mine earlier who, pro skaters, and we were talking about why, I'll put it in my words,
I
not
like
theirs.
them.
They're very cool.
Yeah, I like them a lot.
So for 4 years, we've been trying to do a show that is built around, we have this awesome property, we have skate parks, we have Willy Wonka's candy factory or whatever,
Yeah.
chocolate factory. Why can't we get people to just do something?
Because if you haven't earned it, you're not as thirsty for it.
Perhaps.
God, it's so cringe listening to fucking people with no. What is this guy's job? What does he do? Here's something that I think is actually important. Also, I'm saying this, by the way, as a small business owner, okay? So I don't even know like big corporate things. So I could be saying retarded shit as well, okay? I'm not as retarded as these guys, but I might still be mega retarded, okay? Here's something that I think is actually important that I've learned over the years. Creative directors matter. If you don't have the time to be the full director and provide vision for a project on your own, it's really hard to just hire people and say, especially creative work, and say like, hey, I want you to like create something cool out of this. Employees can be good for kind of more robotic tasks or, to do whatever, like, oh, I can execute the thing to maintain the whatever. But to find somebody with like, you have to find somebody who can creatively direct a project. A creative director is important. Tim can't just have a bunch of skaters and people that know how to record stuff. It's like, hey guys, make a show out of this. They're not going to do it. You have to appoint. You need a creative director to say, this is my vision for this project, and we're going to go ahead and do this. Right? Yeah, that's it. In my opinion, my limited opinion, because have made the mistake of not doing this in the past. Having a creative director is essential to things like this. Things don't happen on their own like that.
Do something.
Because if you haven't earned it, you're not as thirsty for it.
Perhaps.
And I found that in my own career where
All of these are platitudes. If you haven't earned it, you're not as thirsty for it. I mean, maybe. I guess that could be true. I don't know if it's responsive to what Tim is saying, but
it's, I've had falling outs too with big shows, which sucks. And everybody knows that. Yeah. So it's like it's not anything that I didn't make obvious. But at the same time, you do have to be hungry for your own thing, because then I hire friends, and then those friends don't do anything for a year. And you're like, oh.
Who is Destiny's creative director? Well, I mean, I had a branding artist dude for the website redesign who did all of that, all that creative work. I think Cake is pretty good when it comes to direction for the website. And then for the game stuff, that creative vision was led by, oh my God, I can't believe I forget his name. The guy that I paid to do it, the awesome dude. He made the DGG wear. I'm not looking because I'm going to remember his name. He has awesome composition challenge and submissions as well. Come on. Gemzar is the artist. Fuck, what's his name? Oh my God, I can't remember it. I'm not going to remember it. Fuck me. Just fuck me. Fuck me. Silkworm, yeah. Oh, I was never going to remember that. That's not in my head at all right now, but.
Oh, that's why this person didn't like you. Exactly. Like, oh, I see. This is the problem.
Wait.
Friends don't do anything for a year, and you're like, oh, that's why this person didn't like you. Exactly. Like, oh, I see. This is the problem.
You know what I think too is I've been hearing this a lot from a lot of different people who are working small to large companies, and I'm not going to drag their personal business into the public or anything, but
no, and I've regretted doing that in the past.
I'm hearing a lot about how there's like a talent and management crisis right now, and the example that I've given, because I have no connection to it whatsoever.
Talent in management crisis. Tim is learning or relearning, although he definitely has a larger operation than I do. I'm pretty sure he does. You spend so much time as a man on the internet listening to software devs and everybody talk about like how shitty management is and managers are annoying and fuck sprints and stand-ups and all this cringe stupid shit. Management is really important. Middle management is essential. People cannot self-direct. People can't have time frames. People can't deliver an expected way. You need middle managers are essential to the function of any like small to medium to large sized enterprise. You have to have managers that are keeping people on task, on time, that are working to interface between you and your place. It's just essential. You have to have it. And a good manager is, employees and owners or higher managers know the importance of a good manager. Good managers are essential and are so important.
Is Charlestown races, where they used to have this awesome restaurant that overlooks the horse track, and the horses every Thursday, Friday, Saturday you get to watch the horses run and order food and hang out. And they don't have the restaurant anymore. Only on special occasions, rarely. I don't know how often they do it, but almost never. And they told me, I asked them why the restaurant shut down. It's because after COVID hit, everybody who worked there retired or quit. Nobody will do the job. They can't find anybody.
Right.
So, some other big companies have said the same thing. It seems like...
Who keeps you on task? Me? I don't need anybody to keep me on task because I still love doing my job, thankfully.
The top brass are grinding their fingers to the bone because they have a vision that they want to do. There's something that drives them to do something. Which brings me to, my friends, these skaters. And I said, why do you guys post videos every day? You have no boss. And they're like, well, I don't know. I want to do it. I'm like, right. You want to do it.
Same as me, yeah.
And so you do. And then I think the problem we're facing as a country is most people do not. They will because they have to, and they hate that they do.
Weak times? Weak men, is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like...
I'm pretty weak. I still do.
In
fairness.
Sure, I drive 2 hours a day to work, so we're all ready to go.
Yeah, I fly.
I guess I'm curious what Tim's actual problems are. I don't know how much he'll talk about the structure of his company or what's going on, but it's also really fascinating to listen to other people in this space because it's hard to hear, like, you don't get much insight into these types of businesses that like do YouTube channels and shit.
That's right to my job.
Yeah.
I get it.
But it's like, again, like not calling anybody. I don't want to insult anyone directly, but it's just seeing someone stand around, do nothing. And then so the challenge is, in order to make this show operate, I have to work what is effectively 16 hours a day. So I haven't had it's fair to say, weekday sunset in 4 years. Like just through the window or something, or now that we're in the new studio, there's no windows at all.
I'm colorblind, so.
But it's more about like wow, what if I finished work at a normal time like everybody else and just, I don't know, hopped in the car and went down to the river and looked at frogs.
Yeah, it's the things you miss out on, really, because I can experience that.
But I'm willing to work my fingers to the bone to make something happen.
Yeah.
But not if we get to the point where it requires more people and we can't get to that point and it just doesn't happen. So then the reassessment is...
More than 30? I don't believe the number of employees. I feel like that's a lie. I feel like what he's doing is he's like, let's say he has like 8 people that might do thumbnails like every now and then. I feel like he's counting all of them as, there's no way he's hired 30 employees and 10 contractors. I don't believe it. Unless there's some huge part of his operation that I'm just not aware. There's no way.
Make something happen.
Yeah.
But not if we get to the point where it requires more people.
Like more?
And we can't get to that point and it just doesn't happen. So then the reassessment is, okay, so the ancillary investment projects clearly are over.
Yeah.
And that's just unfortunate. But the issue then for these other shows and these other projects is...
What projects has Tim done? Well, he does his music videos, to be fair. Aside from the music stuff, what other projects does he do? Like, has he done like a documentary or anything in a while, or?
Shows and these other projects is they only exist off of the work that I do.
Did he have a lot of staff when you were on? No, he's got like 1 or 2 people behind the... I think he's got one guy that runs cameras maybe, although these look like they're automatically switched. I can't tell though, but it looks like it because when the guy talks, it instantly switches to him. I'm curious what they use for an auto switcher. But the... No, it doesn't seem like he had a huge staff. There were a lot of people at the house, but I just assumed they were like friends and stuff because there's just like people hanging out downstairs and shit. I don't know.
And these other projects is they only exist off of the work that I do. Mm-hmm. If I show up in the morning and I do my morning show, I get to give a portion of the work that I do to them so that they can try and make something work. And
didn't you say he was doing a coffee shop and a skate park? He makes it sound like he doesn't even have an approval for the coffee shop yet, number one. And then the skate park, he's just got a big ramp inside of his home, basically. Yeah.
You know, I know they're trying as hard as they can, and some more successful than others, but it just becomes too burdensome to the point where unless they get off the ground and are able to maintain and manage themselves and make money, we can't do it anymore.
Right.
So
well, I don't know what he's talking about here. I wish he was more specific. Fuck. He bought a whole skate park. Yeah, I see Asana saying shit. Link me after. He bought a whole skate park. More. I thought I know he's got the tube or the whatever the fuck you call it in his basement from this huge mansion house thing. Did he buy a different thing?
Than others, but it just becomes too burdensome to the point where unless they get off the ground and are able to maintain and manage themselves and make money, we can't do it anymore.
Like, unless they get off the ground, maintain themselves and make money. That when he says that, he makes it sound like he's just got a bunch of like friends that he pays sometimes for some work, and he's expecting them to spin off their relationship with him into full careers. And if they're not able to do that, so that's what it sounds like is going on here. Somebody said new skate park. Oh, we bought a whole ass new thing, I guess.
Well, there's nothing going on at the office, and you were really close to me.
Yeah, we need a dynamic angle.
We need an out the gate from Tim. Yo, Tim! We need you for an out the gate segment.
What's out the gate? All right, first try.
Oh,
Here we go.
2 tries.
Hold on.
3 tries.
Because it's so close. Oh! There it is. I'm done, right? I got it. All right.
Yeah, that's it. All right.
Is Richie here?
No.
Who's here?
No.
Oh, I gotta turn off.
That's why we need a first try trick.
I gotta turn off Creed.
Oh yeah. Copyrighted.
We'll come back for Creed. Oh, all right. What am I doing?
What trick are you gonna do?
I don't know.
All right, we'll try something.
I'm gonna land this first try.
Okay.
I'm legit going to try to land this first try.
Oh, it was almost first try.
I know.
Gross.
All right, give me a couple more tries.
Okay.
Right.
So that isn't necessarily the bearing on this show. The bearing on this show is there's a degree of staff required to run a show like this. And it's
You
I don't
can't
know.
lose power and then lose your show.
I wish he would be more specific. I'm so curious. I want to know. I'm so interested. Fuck.
What was that?
Like, you can't lose power, then lose your show.
What do you mean lose power?
Isn't that what happened at the other place?
No, the studio, the graphics card fried.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, we knew the computer was bad. We had repeatedly said we needed to get fixed, and it just never happens.
Okay.
So I'm like,
What does that mean? They knew it was bad and needed to get fixed, and the graphics card fried? Things that your computer illiterate friends say when their computer breaks for some reason. Wait, what? Was the graphics card smoking, or did it give a warning, or what does that mean? Actually, if I were to ultra steelman his position, maybe your inputs can start dying, or you get like a weird thing on the screen. I don't know. It's possible. I'm being mean right now, I guess, but
we knew that
The other place?
no, the studio, the graphics card fried.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, we knew the computer was bad. We had repeatedly said we needed to get fixed, and it just never happens.
Okay.
So I'm like, hold on, man. Like,
I
am I going to work
I'm very
16 hours every single day to the bone and figuratively say I get no weekday sunsets so that someone else can be like, I ain't going to fix it?
Well, if you want to die of a heart attack,
well, wait, do you pay these other people to fix it, or what is the employment structure here? I'm so curious. Why would somebody else not do it? Is he
very young, it's a good way to do
No,
it.
I'd be bored if I wasn't doing something. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, I'm willing to do this, but this requires other people who are willing to do it too. And there are a lot of people here who are willing to do a lot more and go.
like when he says stuff like that? I'd be willing to do this if other people are willing to do it too. He makes it sound like he's expecting them to make money on the side or something, and they're not actually being paid by him to do things. Because if they're being paid by him to do things, then you'd fire them or find somebody else. No, I guess maybe.
People who are willing to do it too. And there are a lot of people here who are willing to do a lot more and go above and beyond. Like Raymond's sitting right here.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I was like, yeah, you should sit in this one. And then there are a lot of people that are like, when can I put the knife in Tim's back?
Jesus.
Don't you find that's any level of fame, though? And any
Yes.
level of notoriety at this
Can't
point?
run a company with those people in your company, though.
No, you can't. And I mean, if you know who they are, what do you do?
Oh, you fire them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
and,
it sucks.
we've had people come through and try to burn us to the ground afterwards, and it's just like
Yeah, there's
that's reality.
and such. Am I not allowed to say that? I shouldn't just say
Is there what?
What'd you?
The
don't
swatting.
repeat it. Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, no, I was
yeah,
here
yeah.
like when they was being swatted.
Okay, they want us to watch this on.
When they care about something enough that they actually call, that's their litmus test of like,
I like that they've moved on from swatting to just like trying to use American Congress against like their perceived enemies.
How is that even remotely
Fucking
comparable?
content.
How is that
And
remotely
it's so
comparable?
callous
Wait, that's an
that he is
escalation?
openly doing this
Wait,
in
what?
broad fucking daylight.
What are you talking about?
Like, he doesn't even give a shit. He's like, I don't care about anything. It'll just be funny. Like, what do you do?
Okay.
When did Dan swat someone? What the fuck? That's not what I said, man. Oh, his fanboys are in here, dude. Holy fuck. No, dog. The common thing that these fucking troll groups normally do is swat streamers and shit, okay? I'm saying that they're doing this. I'm saying that they've moved on from that. I'm not saying he is swatting people.
wait a minute, people actually really give a shit about this. I'm not joking. And also, all of these people in the House right now are super election brained, right?
I worked on Capitol Hill. Members do not give a shit about calls. They just put it in a batch by an intern. Members never pick up the phone amount. I know.
That is absolutely
What's
not
the point
true.
of even
Unless
doing
that's
this?
changed significantly. People that make calls can get shit done sometimes. It's pretty wacky. Some sort of that
He
politics is
claimed he
for...
played Dungeons and Dragons with you and regrets it.
Politics
He
is for
says
powers
he
or
used to
whatever.
respect you before Destiny radicalized him. He wears it like a badge of pride and not an ounce of self-awareness on how this looks pathetic. Jesus Christ. Like, that's crazy. If you fucking actually genuinely thought that I was being anti-Semitic, I don't think you would be this callous in your indifference. Like,
It's because we're used to it.
regardless of the fact that I'm not, by the way. Oh, also, here's why he's doing this, apparently.
Before anything happens, to show there's two things that need to happen. One, Frogan needs to be banned. That's like just an immediate thing. Not that I even give a fuck about Frogan, to say it again, but it's just so obviously apparent that if she doesn't get banned, that nobody gives a shit over there, right? Like that is the most obvious case in the entire world of someone breaking the terms of service And
yeah, it's a clear hate speech violation of a protected class of citizens too, because she's going after veterans, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
True.
So yeah,
it's multiple things.
I agree.
Right.
Yeah.
So if that doesn't happen, we know that there's no change at Twitch. So that's step one. Will that happen? Step two is they have to unban Steve. Like, 'cause otherwise, I
shouldn't bring that up.
If they're able to unban Fresh and Fit and Sneeko, they can unban Steve.
Well, they banned Fresh and Fit and Sneeko.
Oh, so they did that. So then they did that. So then
that's crazy.
Technically, that satisfies the thing. Oh, so now Hassan's goal is to label Dan's entire thing just a crusade for me to be unbanned. Like now that's going to be the whole narrative they try to run with.
Dude, how do you not fucking recognize that you're cynical, albeit somewhat successful, but not really, insane brigading and harassment initiative is literally proof that Destiny is not getting unbanned? Like, what the fuck? Like, how do these people... I have no way of changing Twitch's attitude on any of these things, for the record. But I'm a normal human being with a fucking brain who understands that, like, yeah, if people do this sort of shit, I'm certain that a major platform is not going to want them there. Like, this is an unhinged level of brigading.
Brigading?
Why do they
Talking
parrot
to Congress
that
is
better all
brigading?
day but still want to be unbanned?
Does he even know what
Twitch?
these words
I don't
mean?
know. Yeah. It's cool, though, that, like...
Bring up me again. Yes, talk about me.
It doesn't matter that they think you have that ability. I think it's kind of wild that, like... I thought his community was supposed to be about politics, and they're doing this shit like 13 days from an election. Yeah.
What has his community done for politics at all?
This is like
what an
a fucking whole ass adult too. I mean, so is Destiny. Like, him and Destiny both are just like fucking... What is, like, Destiny like 37 or some shit? This guy's probably in his fucking 40s.
I'm like your
what are
age.
you doing, man?
Hello? How do I get older every time he talks about me? How old was the girl that he fucked? 12? To 9, 10, 11?
Figure out a way
-4? Remember when he put his dick in that one girl's ball sack so that he could, and the girl's dad's ball sack and fucked her 3 years when she was born?
Didn't they literally dox the trust and safety team too?
Who's doxing who? What? Little bro, you're 2 years younger than me.
How do you not get angry as fuck when seeing all this insanity? Because this has been going on for the past 5 years.
No.
They haven't really stopped doing it. Bro is live reacting to you right now, calling you a pedo. The fuck? I thought Dan was like a normal guy. I'm being...
Oh, now he's gonna do this. I used to like these guys. I thought these guys were... What would happen?
Like, I thought he was like more normal.
Yeah, we thought you were normal too until you turned out to be a terrorist sympathizing, supporting fuckwit.
This is like genuinely deranged behavior. It's odd. I mean, like I said, they've been doing this non-fucking stop, right? Like, they haven't really stopped doing this, which is why it's not that shocking. I guess it's just not that shocking to me to see it.
Longer.
Wait, so you're surprised or you're not surprised or...
Whatever,
so many platitudes.
It's just, it's too skewed right now, unfortunately.
Anyway. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, and I will say this always, this is a genuine fucking firmly held commitment that I have to this. I hope these guys get better. Okay? I hope they get better, because this is like...
Where are we at on the Hasan
This is
Coke
truly
chart?
unhinged, man. It's not... There is no fucking way that this is healthy for you. Like, being in this pit of despair every fucking day being in this pit of despair every goddamn day, day in, day out, is not healthy.
When the opposition becomes increasingly
I promise
frustrated
you,
with your poor
whatever
articulation of
kind
their
of
argument,
whatever kind of vengeance that you get out of me is not going to fix your life when you are this fucking toxically involved in mass harassment campaigns like this. Like, let's say these guys what they wanted, okay? Let's say I got banned from Twitch permanently, perma-ban. Everyone is saying that I'm a fucking terrorist. Someone comes and fucking kills me, right? Do you think the next day your life is going to be better, or will you look back at all of the events that that unfolded? I'm sure some people will hear me right here in this moment and go, no, that actually would make my life better.
Bro, nobody's coming
Now,
for this guy.
I have to ask you,
fuck?
how
We're
the
going
fuck
for
do
Dan
I have that
Clancy.
much presence
What
in
is
your
wrong
life?
with this fucking guy?
I don't know you. I don't think about you at all. And I will forget about you as soon as I'm done with this message.
The Don Draper thing. I don't even
It's
know who
not
you are.
healthy. And I mean this in all sincerity. It is not healthy for you to be this obsessed. I promise you would live a happier life if you went outside, made friends, over your shared interests, over your hobbies that aren't fucking cyber stalking and engaging in mass harassment campaigns against
and the Delaban
a content creator.
And the Desaad are my best friends. Big.
I don't know.
Mr. Har.
I fully believe in you defending yourself. This shit is absolutely vile, but I also think that unfortunately your engagement with it may stoke those flames. They fizzle out when the story blows by. Let's focus on Gaza, Free Palestine. Yeah, I know. It's just, it's getting to a point where it's obviously they are.
I think we gotta wait for Destiny.
They are desperately trying to quote unquote.
Wait, did you want me to watch this or not?
No, I don't care. That's fine. We can wait. I said we're waiting.
Waiting for what? It's on stream to end?
No, me and Mudahar are in here. We want to come and also comment.
Okay. What do you want to comment on?
Oh no, dude! I'm just, I saw the clip that was shared. I think you shared it. Fucking wife sent it to me. I guess I'm an alt-righter now, dude.
Hey, stand true. You are.
Fucking years. It literally does not matter. They still do the shit. They still do it. They still have all this smoke. They still are very excited, it seems, to do stuff like this. I don't even think it's about like whatever positions I advocate for, because I'm sure that there are certain things that they probably agree with me on, you know?
New Ethan post.
It's literally just
on the
like
main channel?
Personal vendetta.
Hold on, chat logs between
It's personal
mods.
vendetta that also gives them clicks, gets them money, creates a sense of community. Like I can be like the moral compass, the major villain that they can, launch all their attacks against, that unites all of these people.
Does Hasan not understand that we're going for Dan Clancy and not for him?
What a fucking martyr, dude. Holy shit.
Martyr? I'm
Nobody's
sorry. Are you being racist right now? Careful.
I am not in a single. I mean, I use him
Anyway,
like the shit he said.
it is
but
what it
never have we gone for
What are you
Hasan.
gonna do?
And in fact, there are clips of me saying I don't think Hasan should get banned. Nobody clips that. That's the thing I fucking said. That was yesterday. I said I don't think he should get banned. Okay. But Dan Clancy, he's got to go.
Hey,
That's what I'm
D
coming
freaks in the
for.
chat, click this link. This is what you support. They don't care. If you show them fucking videos of Gaza, they'll be like, yeah, I love that.
What?
He's projecting because they love it when like Israeli hostages and shit get murdered.
All right, let's get back to Trump's rhetoric heating up on the campaign trail. I don't even know how much more it could fucking heat up, but let's take a look.
To the hurricane. All right, close it out. Stop.
With the election only 2 weeks away.
All right, Mudahar, how are you?
I'm doing good, guys. I'm just, I I just saw that clip, dude. It was insane. But yeah, what's up?
When are we seeing you in studio?
I believe it's I want to say December 4th. I think is when.
That's gonna be exciting.
Yeah.
I'm a little. I know we're not best friends or anything, but I am a little bit disappointed that you didn't reach out to me for any of your research on your video. But that's okay.
Oh, bro, dude, I was like off complete Twitter. I actually like fucking Jen sent me like the Destiny clip, so I signed in just to see the quote tweets, and then I saw that you were actually like following me on there. Like normally I'm just not on Twitter at all.
Do you know the extent of how insane it is?
Dude, I saw the website. I think you made it. The Dane Clancy.
I didn't. I'm a fan of the website, but that's forget all. Oh, man, this is like. It's so cool. You know about this, but you're about to come into a conspiracy that you didn't know existed. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Twitch has never before, as far as anyone else knows, as far as I know, banned a country from creating accounts. Okay?
Yeah, I saw that. The fucking geo-blocking of Israeli was their VPS, their actual their whole their
whole IP.
Location?
Yeah. So they've never done that. They did that on the global day of jihad. Okay? And on the global day of jihad, there was a chance that there was going to be a bunch of attacks against Jews. That wouldn't have been good for the narrative of whatever is going on at Twitch
I don't co-sign this narrative.
Really?
I don't think so. Yeah.
How can you not co-sign it when you see who gets hired there? Explain it to me.
I just don't. It just doesn't. The ban was it was retarded for so many different reasons. But
so why not do Russia or Ukraine or Myanmar? Or
that's
Rwanda.
Not responsive to what I just said. The ban was retarded for a number of reasons, but the idea that they were trying to prevent Jewish narratives from changing when you could still use accounts that had already been created, or there could have been violence. I don't think that's. I think this. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why one would even choose to ban an entire country to begin with. It's one of those things where you guys had access to like screenshots of the source code or something from their like internal GitLab for the website.
Some other account posted it.
Okay.
So it was I believe that Amazon has a repo that mirrors a lot of the Twitch repo, and there was a change that was submitted on that one with a reference to a Jira ticket. But all the screenshots I've seen have just come from Amazon employees messaging me. I don't know anybody in Twitch Trust and Safety, because I think you might need to be in the Twitch Trust and Safety team to like read the Jira ticket. I don't think that's available to anybody that can read the repo, I think.
Oh yeah, it's on the thing. But anyways,
it's insane how they just choose to block an entire country. Hey, look, it's a private company. If they want to like fucking block that whole region, they could. But like, Jesus Christ, why?
You can't. There's actually laws. There's anti-BDS laws in California. You actually can't do that.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like not a good law. Don't get me wrong. I think it should be removed. All BDS laws. Why is it that we have that, by the way, Steve? Do you know?
That's one thing I've added to my list of things to research. I don't know 1,000,000% why.
Anyways, it's an unconstitutional law that basically prevents American companies from discriminating.
I don't know. I wouldn't call it unconstitutional. I'm pretty sure it's.
I think it has to be, right?
I mean, it's a law in a lot of states, and it's been around for a long time. If it was unconstitutional, I feel like it would have been struck down as such by now. No. Yeah, it only applies to companies, I think, that are getting funds from the government as well.
Like Amazon, you mean?
I don't know if Amazon does state contracts or gets funds from the federal government. I'm not sure.
They get massive contracts from the federal government. Unbelievable contracts from the federal government. I think one of the big ones that they were going after is something it's called like the War Cloud one right now. And it's like in between them and Google, and it's like back and forth. Trust me, massive amounts. But that's more so, that's different shit. The anti-BDS shit is, anyways, I don't want to get down this. This is fucking boring. They shouldn't exist, the laws, if they do, but they do. It's really weird. It's like if we really loved Canada and we told private companies you're not allowed to not sell to Canadians or boycott Canadian products. It's very strange. But anyways, yeah, they silently put a ban into place that basically affected phone and email from what I've seen and also from what Ynet reported. So no one could sign up, not just on your computer, but also on your phone. And also, even if what they said was true, do they think that terrorists are using like their desktop computers to take jihad videos or something? or are they going to use their phone?
I mean, did they really think the ban was going to be effective? Couldn't you just have taken a VPN and just like, I don't know, set yourself to fucking Canada and just log in from there?
There's a million things you could have done, but like, that's why I am a conspiracy head on this. When Steve's like, I don't think so. I do think so, because this ban makes no sense. It doesn't even stop anything. Like, if you're saying we're concerned about people uploading insane content, so we blocked email signups, but you can still use your phone, like, okay. But the other part that was fucked up is if you were just a normal Israeli and you tried to create an account, do you know what they did? They just gave you back a fucking cryptic error message. And unless you were a fucking programmer and opened up DevTools, you wouldn't even know why you were banned. Otherwise, it was just like, sorry, an error has occurred. How fucking, like, infuriating that they did that. And it would still be in place today, man. You know that? It would still be in place today, and they like to act like, oh, you're telling us this for the first time.
They had the email tickets for it, too. Dude, I saw that.
They have absolute email confirmation of this being the case, and they just didn't they swept it under the rug. They deleted the user voice tickets, they delete the fucking emails, they delete the Discord messages, all the shit, the Reddit posts, everything. It's just let me ask you this. Can you name one instance of a tech company doing something more insane? I was going to say anti-Semitic, but to any particular region. Can you give me an example of one?
Not if they weren't forced by the government in particular, you know. The only thing that it like kind of relates to me is like when Apple shuts down VPN apps in like China or like Russia or something, and that's just because the government enforces you to do something like that. I've never seen a tech company ever shut down or block entire regions for no reason.
Like the only other things I'm thinking of is like the Hunter Biden laptop story or the JD Vance dossier or something, but that's not like, I mean, that's like more political versus directly targeting a group of people, you know?
I guess that's just more like a moderation thing, right? Like just a fucking site will jump in. Like if YouTube detects like a specific type of gore video that's being like trended and shared around, they'll just like block the metadata or something. I think that's more moderation. It's not like they're blocking people from accessing the service outright, you know?
Yeah, it's just, well, you could watch. I mean, imagine you're a Israeli Twitch streamer. You speak Hebrew. Do you think you're getting a lot of donations if nobody can create an account out there?
Then right. So
well, no. If you already had one, you could log in. Okay. The thing that they blocked was the registration. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So older accounts come in, newer accounts couldn't.
I think something that's interesting too. Because I had another Amazon guy email me some things. I think they created the answer to the question of how they ever blocked a country before, at least at this level of code. I don't think they've done that before, because I think in that same repo, that same commit, they added the blocked country IP return. Like, I don't think that existed in the code before, unless they recommit this same block every single time or something. Because there's on that one, I don't know if it's the same lines of code from 253 to 259. Like there's like a block country IP equals wrapped blah, 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 internal error equals this, external message equals this. And then the comments for this is blocked country IP is an error representing a failure to create an account due to a country block of the user's IP address. So I think they added this, and then this is dated as the same commit. I think they added this into the code at the same time that they did the commit for the Israel-Palestine ban, which is kind of funny. So I don't think they could even do this before, unless they just add this every time or something. But
like just thinking about, like, it's obvious that there's so people write the rules about what's allowed, and I think that's part of policy. That's like coming up with the rules of what's allowed, what words are okay, what words are not okay. Mm-hmm. And like, obviously right now you can say whatever you want about Zionists. Literally, if you're in a Twitch chat, you can say anything about a Zionist. You can say you hope that all, I don't know if you can say it on YouTube, so I'm not going to say it, but you hope that they stop existing. Like, you can go crazy on Twitch, and people do it, and nothing happens to them, right? So this is a policy that has to be in place, because there must have been enough reports that have gone to them, and they've decided that this is going to be the way that it is. And it's also crazy that all of the reports are going, apparently they have an India one as well. India call center is what I'm being told. But
yeah, I think one of the most damning things is that if a user would have reported an error trying to, especially for an account creation thing, right? Because I feel like account creation is a pretty big deal for services, right? Like people making accounts are one of the most important parts of a website. That if this went through tech support,
they're going to get their statistics for sure.
Yeah, that if
they lose an entire region, that's terrible for any company.
Yeah, or just anytime you have new users signing up, I feel like this is like a fucking the ultra high priority Jira ticket. Like, hey, the fuck, there's like revenue impacting. Like, we got 2 hours, figure this shit out. So somebody must have investigated and found out, like, oh, okay, there's a region ban. That's why. That's what this message is, and then that must have been okayed and then sent back to support for them to say that your account is ineligible. So somebody looked at it and said this is fine, I guess, which is really weird. But
dude, the fact that it like happened to this one region, like that's just the most damning piece of evidence right there. Because if like you're going by the Twitch assumption, like their own like words where they wanted to prevent gore footage from being updated or uploaded onto the internet, onto their service, it's like, dude, there's so many other conflict zones. There's so many other wars that have been happening. Like, why have we not just blanket shut down those organizations as well? Or if Twitch really wanted to like enforce some level of geo-blocking, why wasn't Russia put into the list first? Because they're literally like more heavily sanctioned by the United States and their tech companies than anything else, right? Like,
sure.
I just don't understand why they didn't jump down that road.
No, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I'm also curious who the real question too is who is the one that approved the initial change.
Well, who are all the people involved with that initial?
So a change like this, so like this is an email that is, I think this is true. This makes sense. Somebody says, I work at AWS, I can prove my tenure. A dev simply cannot just change something like banning an entire country's IP range due to possible legal consequences. This is most likely a decision made from higher ups at Twitch. It kind of makes sense that like, I doubt some random dude snuck this in to see what would happen. It must have come from somebody decently high up to have this like geo ban go into place.
Oh,
right?
for sure. This was from someone in policy. Absolutely.
Sure. So I'm curious, like who was the person that okayed it? Right.
And then, just think about the code, right? Like, if you've ever done like code revisioning or like code work in general, it's like the way that it was written, based entirely on the screenshot that I saw posted by the one Israeli website. I think it's the same one you guys are talking about. That code would have, again, been easily identified by anybody, especially like if you got a ticket. So the way that I've understood this is like, months ago, back in May 2024, there was that movement, right? I forget the name of it. It was a hashtag movement where people brought it up, like Israeli creators. So you send a ticket in, all right, your engineering team gets that ticket, all right, they look through what the issue is with the code. Again, it's not like this was obfuscated or put in like, secretly by anybody. It literally was just a like IP range block.
Well, so, it wasn't even an IP range block. It was like it was like a country block.
Yeah, like a pretty simple country block, it's very easily identifiable. So it's like, it wasn't snuck in. Absolutely, there's a senior level engineer, or again,
well, keep in mind too that like
let it go on.
My guess, I'm starting to guess here, but like my guess is going to be like code review is not necessarily going to be like policy review, right? Like if my guess is going to be code review might come in and it might be like, oh, like this ban is for everybody who's under the age of 19 is now banned from the platform. If that gets approved by some senior dev or whoever's going over it, I doubt that's them saying like, oh yes, I approve of the policy of banning 19-year-olds. It's probably just to make sure that it works, right? But the policy would have come from somebody different, not just a programmer, because the programs aren't making policy, would be my guess, right? Like this has to come from somebody in policy had to have given this as an instruction. Yeah.
I wonder how much this like opened the eyes of like Amazon itself. I mean, I always say this is like, how the fuck does Twitch get to do what they do without Amazon eventually coming down to their fucking offices and saying what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know how long it's gone on. Like, I don't understand like how Amazon still hasn't come down and like sent somebody.
The guy that's directly in charge of this, Dan Clancy's boss, is a guy by name of Stephen Moore. And he runs like Amazon Prime Video and Prime Gaming and all that type of stuff. And he must be aware of what's happening underneath him. I mean, I would hope so, at least.
I wonder how this wasn't even code reviewed by somebody off of Twitch as well, right? Like, you would consider that Twitch plays a pretty integral part to Amazon Prime Video itself anyways, like their video sharing services. So how this wasn't even picked up by anybody else in the entire, like, like Amazon,
Well,
like I guess.
So keep in mind that like the Twitch is separate from Amazon, right? Like again, the only reason the Amazon people can see this is because of a repo that's just mirroring commits from the Twitch repo that still exists separately from Amazon. This is not impacting like IVS or like some AWS integral service or something. This is like, I don't know if you'd call it front end, but this is like user registration stuff on Twitch's side. I seriously doubt anybody in Amazon proper is reviewing policy code from Twitch. That wouldn't be in the purview. That'd be like, I'm bored, so I'll go check maybe. But you know,
I have to ask that question because it makes me wonder, like, the relationship that they both have. Obviously, Twitch gets its, cloud discount from Amazon, and I'm sure that there's a lot of technology overlap between both companies when it comes to video sharing services or, like, the code, the baseline code required. So I have to wonder from that end. It's like how many, like, if Amazon proper doesn't know, it's like they got to get rid of Dan Clancy. They got to get rid of that whole fucking board and replace them with people that literally are going to neutrally represent the company instead of turning it into the shit show that it is right now, Yeah,
there has to be somebody high off must have signed off on this or given the order. Who gave the order? You raped her, you murdered her, or something. Yeah.
No, I think someone in policy definitely did, and then it got passed down to a developer that did it. I don't think the developer is at fault, right? The developer is not at fault.
The developer is probably not at fault, although it is surprising that nobody said anything. But I mean, like, I can start to envision after the policy order is given, I can theoretically envision, although we don't have the logs, we don't know who made what request for committed, but that like a developer might have passed the change through and then like gotten fired.
Or what about if
quit.
he just quit? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So that's possible for sure.
I don't think I would fault the developer at all, actually. Like, I'm trying to imagine like a, like, I don't know, like you just like, he's just like, hey, go add this to the site.
I would be careful. Okay. We can imagine worlds where we could fault the developer. Like if I seriously doubt that this would happen at a company that size, but who the fuck knows? But like if your boss comes to you or some shit and he's like, listen, okay, we finally fucking had it with the Jews and we finally got the okay to axe this fucking region from our signups. Order 66, do the Israel-Palestine ban, get them the fuck out of here, right? At that point, the developer probably was like, okay, well, this is kind of weird, but if you say so, sir.
Yeah, I mean, like if your chief board comes down and gives you like a fucking altruistic reason, like we're doing this to protect people from like graphic imagery, you as a developer, I would be like, sure, okay, it's, in that case, way above my fucking pay grade, sure. But yeah, if they came down to the office and were like, order 66, ban all the Jews, like the developer's like, sure, let's go for it.
So you know what's fucked up though, right? So like even if it went into place innocently for a good reason, right? Maybe they did think like tomorrow, like we have good intelligence, and the FBI contacted them saying, hey, listen, tomorrow there's going to be a lot of streamings of people being killed. You need to stop it. Like, even if that was the case, why did they do such a fucking stupid job of putting the block into place? That's the first thing. It doesn't actually, like, whatever. Second thing is they left it in place forever. It would still be here. I just, like, how do you explain that away? That you just leave it there? Like how incompetent is the company that no one in analytics, no one in marketing?
Yeah, somebody would have caught it. I feel like this is a perception issue such that like there should probably be a public breakdown of what happened. I would imagine, but maybe not. But like it should be like, hey, just so you guys know, like this is what happened because.
That's a really good idea.
Well,
like,
yeah,
it's funny, when companies get hacked. Sometimes when a good company gets hacked, what they do is they do a full post-mortem.
They publish, here was the invulnerability, this is what happened, or this is the exploit, this is how they got in, this is the data that was accessed, and this is what we've done to make sure it doesn't happen again or whatever, yeah.
Yep. But I'll tell you this, they kind of fucked themselves with the lie that they told right after the thing. Like, they were so desperate to get an answer out that they just lied right away. And now now they're fucked, right? Like, to a certain extent. If they didn't put out that statement back then, they could just come out and eat the bullet right now and like be completely honest and transparent about everything. But because they lied so blatantly in their response, I don't even know how they can like, to me, the only way that you can do it is someone has to fall, right?
It has to be like a CEO or somebody in the executive board, because it's like, yeah, how does this keep going on for so long? Dude, people who work in like marketing, or like Destiny said, people who work in like analytics at a company, right? They're going to fucking check. Dude, imagine if you had like a fucking like blank spot, like a dead zone in your entire country map. Like, you wouldn't ask that question.
The funnier part too is like, what does that even say about you as a CEO? Like, are you anti-Semitic or are you a fucking retard, incompetent enough? Like, oops, Yeah, that's weird. No more signups in this region for a year. Anyone notice that? Anyone notice we have no more Israeli advertisers? Anyone notice? Anyone?
No
Any
more
noticers?
signups, no revenue stream, no fucking business connection, no nothing. Like literally just dead area. And then when they're gonna get reviewed from like a few guys up top, like at Amazon proper. It's like, bro, they literally like tweeted about this. There were actual like email tickets. You can delete them, but they're still like in a fucking database that you can pull up. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, I know. There's emails. There's fucking user voice tickets. There's all this, like, so people that worked for Amazon, and I guarantee you what's going to probably happen if I was Amazon. Oh, do I want to give them any more tips out of this? I feel like they listen and they use our solutions against us. They're going to blame a vendor. They're going to say, shit, that dang vendor that handles all of our support. They didn't.
Yeah, but there was literally like
know.
a vendor. Oh, no, because support is checking in on like what the error is, right?
You would think so.
Mm-hmm.
You would think so.
Well, if the tickets are getting deleted, that doesn't mean that the fucking that doesn't mean your vendor has an issue. That just means you decided to ignore the issue. So no matter how you audit the situation, it always falls back to the practices done by the board.
You know what's fucked for them, and where they're really damned, is that there's a Reddit thread, an official Twitch developer, not a vendor, responded back to a guy. Remember this one? This was like, I think this was on reddit.com/r/Twitch, and there was a guy tagged as a Twitch developer who responded to the guy who said he couldn't create an account. He's like, yeah, that's weird. Maybe you should go ahead and like try resetting your router or something like that. So Twitch did know. No, not new. They did know.
Wait, link me that comment. I'm curious what he says there exactly.
Fuck. Okay, can anyone find this? It was on reddit.com/r/Twitter. Israelis banned from creating Twitch accounts. No, not this one. I think it's this one. Yeah, where are you? You are here. And then you'll see that the guy, I lost my medic, is tagged as a Twitch developer.
Well, this developer means he works at Twitch, or he just develops products that are used by people that stream on Twitch? Like, could he be like an OBS plugin maker?
I don't fucking know. I assume on Twitch it means developer. I mean, yeah, I guess it could be. I don't know how you get the flares. Let's see. I didn't even think that could be possible.
It's also worth wondering, like, what is the operating status of Twitch right now? Like, didn't they just have, like, massive layoffs recently?
A while ago, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. It depends on, like, how fractured internally they could be, too, right? Like, I mean, fuck, if they're kind of operating on, like, a skeleton crew. This thing probably genuinely might have gotten overlooked. And I'm playing, like, complete... I'm just trying to find, like, the every possible avenue over here.
Yeah. I feel like it has to be. He says in a comment, sorry, I went into some meetings right after commenting, but it seems you got your answer. Kind of odd that they use that error code if that's how you got banned. You could try to refresh your IP. Sometimes it's done when you restart your router, your ISP. I don't know. Would you talk about going into meetings if you weren't the thing?
Actually, I'm sorry. My bad. I doubt this guy. There's no way this is a Twitch developer. I would be shocked if they were allowed to openly provide support and stuff in the Twitch subreddit.
Think so?
I feel like it's too big of a company now. You wouldn't risk, especially like these are non-public facing people. Would you want your devs? No offense to devs. Would you really want your devs in a public subreddit for your multi-billion-dollar company, like responding to people about errors and issues and shit? That seems like it would be unlikely. I guess it's possible, but I feel like that would be unlikely.
I mean, I guess we'll see. Yeah.
He has a Twitch dev flare. He has a dev flare in the R Twitch subreddit, but I wonder if developer just means like, what if he's like a developer for OBS plugins or something? I don't know how you get the developer.
I think that's too charitable. He's got to be a Twitch developer. Like, why would they do that? Like, oh, so anyone who can fucking program anything gets a developer tag? It's the Twitch subreddit. You'd be.
Yeah, but it says it's an unofficial Twitch subreddit as well, right? So.
And he's labeled as developer. What do you think that means? Like, can I go in there and be like, hey, I make Redact. Can I get the developer tag?
Possibly, yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, here. Okay, so I lost my medic. Quiz on Twitch. Quiz on Twitch is an interactive quiz platform designed specifically for Twitch streamers. So my guess is this is probably what he's worked on, unless he's maybe hired by Twitch as well. I guess could be possible, but.
I mean, I've seen anti-cheat developers also do this too, where they go on Reddit and like interact directly with people. You know, like
yeah, but I'm saying for smaller companies maybe, but I think for larger companies, just my guess would be if you don't have somebody trained in public communications, like, and I don't mean that like you have to speak perfectly. I'm just saying like I could envision a world where a dev comes out and they accidentally say something and they didn't realize like some part of a project was supposed to be a secret, or it's a feature that gets scrapped, or they say something about the code base that they weren't supposed to, and then it limits Twitch's ability to say something in the future. Like I just feel like in general on large projects like this, you wouldn't want devs just like doing troubleshooting. You'd want that all handled internally through your own systems. And
it might only make sense if it's like a lead developer or something.
Yes,
you know, somebody that's like high up in a company that.
Yeah. Like somebody saying Riot employees do it in the League subreddit. The Riot employees that do it, I don't think are just like random devs. They're usually people that are known for like going, or at least a long time ago. It was like well-known faces in the Riot like structure. Like there were people.
Well, yeah, the only Riot employee I think I know is like the person that works on Vanguard Anti-Cheat, but then they're like pretty much a senior person on that project, from what I understand. And so, you know, it's like might as well be like the upper echelon of their like right next to the fucking CTO, you know?
Sure.
Is it really the case? Can you imagine if Twitch just doesn't have their own subreddit? How sad. What, they're just letting other people represent their brand? Like with no effect whatsoever?
I could be wrong, but are you allowed to have your own subreddit as a company on Twitch? Or I'm sorry, on Reddit?
Yeah, because I think YouTube is also the same too. They just have an unofficial Reddit that's been running.
I mean, I don't know. I feel as a company you can definitely own your own Reddit for sure.
How hasn't Hasan been banned though? Like, honest question. How has he not been banned?
He's got the right political opinions. How is he literally
hid behind human shields? Dude, I just cannot with that guy and like labeling anybody that talks against him to be like just, oh, I guess you're suddenly like alt-right adjacent, bro. It's the most insane shit that I've ever heard. It's like Vosh whenever he's like, oh, that guy's like alt-right adjacent. I'm like, dude, what does that even fucking mean? Like, what does any of this even mean? Like, how do you just get to slander somebody and then like fucking do it in a way where like it's not technically, it's just dumb, bro.
It's actually more hysterical if this isn't a Twitch developer. So they just let rogue people do support for their Reddit?
Well, it's probably it's a small ass fucking subreddit or whatever, right?
Is it really?
I think it is.
It has 2.5 million readers.
How many? I wonder what is the normal activity of the subreddit. I'm sure right now it's a bit larger because of everything, but.
Interesting.
The moment you disagree with this guy, you just like get painted as like one of the fucking worst people apparently. It's like, dude, he knows who I am. Like, he knows better.
Yeah.
Like, fuck me. And you know what's really funny too? Like, I actually like this is where I really big problem with the song. Like, Frogan is a fucking retard, right? Like, let's not pretend she's smarter than that. Denims is a turbotard, okay? In fact, everyone on that panel is completely fucking brain dead. Yeah. I saw this one clip of Frogan going like, "What's a Druze?" And I'm like, "Are you
my god!"
Like, bro, do you not know?
I saw that. Are you serious? Holy shit! I saw that. I was like, "What?"
Dude, it's insane because these people get to have this, like, they think they have this authority to talk about an entire region when they literally know less about, like, dude, I'm a fucking engineer. Like, I have no fucking idea about geopolitics whatsoever. But, like, I even know, like when she said that, I'm like, dude, how do you not know this? Like, okay, fine. Even as, like, a Muslim, right? Like, you kind of know, like, Muslim adjacent communities, right? Like, you kind of have an understanding. She had no fucking clue about that. So I genuinely think she's just brain dead and stupid. So I don't really hold things too hard against her. Like, I saw this 9/11 baking fucking thing that she was like doing on her stream. I'm like, okay, completely retarded behavior. But the thing with Hasan is like he's been on like our podcast when we were running it, and like talking to him, like I know that he has read up on these situations more so. So when I see him talk about these things, and him like deliberately like obfuscating facts when somebody else is present, like did you see that one clip where he's talking about like fucking Iran is like somehow
better
more
for trans people?
Yeah, I'm like sitting there, I'm like, dude, he knows the history of that region. But yet he just deliberately obfuscates it, and I think it's in front of Asmongold. I'm like, dude, if you just straight up said, yeah, they're pro-trans in that they hate gay people so much that they're gonna put a gun to your head and tell you to trans up, otherwise you're fucking going to jail. Dude, he literally knows better, but he just is the worst bad faith representation of anything possible. Like he is. Like, I equate him to, like, fucking the Daily Wire, like, Fox News, like, any of these, like, other, like,
they're
heavily
There's
oriented.
a reason, on that media bias chart that he is where he is. It's not an accident. Like, he traffics in not giving information as well as misinformation, right? Like, if I tell you, like, he was using the example when he was playing me on stream there of me saying, like, hey, did you know that Twitch banned Palestine? How fucked up is that? It's like, that's true, but you're kind of not mentioning that they also banned Israel. I don't, you're kind of missing a big part here. Like, that's the type of shit that he more so does versus like telling lies. Like, I don't think Hasan's out there being like, the Jews control the space lasers or something happened that something didn't happen. It's just constantly leaving out things, leaving out absolute context for stuff that fucks everything up. He's a context loser. That's it. He's gonna not contextualize, and that's how you do it. That's how you become like ultra fake news, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's the definition of just like he will go after any other like political creator, and in some cases, rightfully so, right? Like if people want to remove context, it's fair to go after it. But like if you're doing it yourself, it's like, dude, it's
I don't care if you want to remove context or add context, fucking fine, be a fucking loser, but don't add context when it makes you look good and then remove context when it makes them look bad, right? Don't sit here and say like, oh well, if you say this, you obviously hate Arabs, but like here's why this is why the Houthi flag is okay, or this is why it's okay when terrorists murder civilians. It's because it's a revolutionary action come on by like years of occupation and blah. And it's like, bro, come on, you can't add context when it just to like save your side and then delete all the context when you want to character assassinate the other side.
Dude, it's also one more, like, the other thing that I always find really, like, wild about it, too, it's like, so they're always so hard locked into, like, this one, like, Muslim issue right now, but then, like, I never hear them talk about, like, fucking India and Indian Muslims being treated like fucking shit. I never hear about, like, the fucking, the Xinjiang, not Xinjiang.
Careful,
sorry.
that's not real.
What do you mean?
Wait, I'm so sorry, I think, were we about to mention the Uyghur genocide?
Yeah, I was mentioning the Uyghurs.
They don't believe that. They don't believe that.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So they don't bring up these fucking things. So it's like, I have to kind of like, the thing that I find so fucking weird about this shit is like hearing from like Denims or hearing from like any of these like fucking Arab like leftist advocates. If I sit there and I don't fucking like immediately jump onto their ship, then I'm not even like a Muslim anymore. I'm just a fucking Pajit street shitting like Israel Zionist supporting Indian. Like, bro, fuck you guys.
Meanwhile,
like,
Frogan, whose eyes are bluer than mine are, who was born in fucking Michigan, is like the most
whiter
Lebanese.
than Jen, bro. She's whiter than Jen. She's whiter than a blonde. Okay, like I'm sorry to when I read about like her in her fucking village, it drives me insane, bro. It's like me going, yeah, Destiny, you know that village I came from in India, Lucknow, that little tiny village with like fucking 1 million people. Yeah,
it's
dude,
so insane. Like if my blue eyes make my fucking like ancestors slave owners, and her ancestors fucking Robert E. Lee. Okay, like this is the whitest motherfucker in U.S. history. Like get the fuck out of here. My village, your fucking village. What bullshit are you talking about? Come on.
Bro, she's from the Midwest, dude. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean what I mean, I said this once before. I mean it. So Twitch has to decide if they want to become Rumble, like, or Twitter. If they do, that's fine. I mean, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think they should do that. But if they're going to go that way, go that way. But what you can't do is have it where you're like, oh no, we don't like that. We want curation. We want to ban hate speech. Fine. Then you can't have 42,000 messages calling people Zionist pig dogs in this channel since October 7th. Sorry. You gotta, I understand that like 2 out of 7 people on trust and safety or whatever are very into this, but you know, you just don't, sorry, tough shit. That doesn't get to fly. You don't get to ban Israel for a year. You don't get to just like say you can do whatever you want as long as to the Jews.
Yeah.
Bro, how is Dan Clancy still allowed to operate right now? Like,
knows?
what the fuck, dude?
Apparently, half of fucking Amazon is staffed by DGG, so I'll read through another email I got. Hey, currently watching some bullshit, and the topic of how a company could just accidentally ban a country came up. I don't think this guy works for Amazon, so I can read more of this. I have a unique perspective on this because last year I accidentally suspended all of a certain country's accounts in my organization within Amazon. Does that mean he works for a company in Amazon, or?
No, it sounds like he used to work for Amazon, and now he doesn't because he suspended all the accounts for a country.
Okay, maybe, yeah. This was after code review by a senior dev and a long multi-stage verification process across beta, gamma, then production. The very day it hit production, we caught it from clients calling in, asking why they were banned, not alarms, and a high severity ticket came in. These need to be responded to within hours to fix the situation. I've already written a doc regarding catching ban anomalies like this, but early detection is still lacking. However, if there were tickets regarding the inability to sign up in a country, product would be notified and devs would be tasked to root cause it. That means specifically knowing why the code base is refusing to allow that person in. Vague, I don't know, I guess the country is banned, wouldn't fly. These are often stupid questions that products should know the answer to, so I don't buy that it wasn't high priority enough because they ask us everything in all caps. The one thing I think you're wrong about, a lot of people have said this, the one thing I think you're wrong about is that these configurations do exist in code, and I've complained a lot about this internally. We can put these into configuration, but 9 out of 10 times they just exist as a static variable in the code base. However, configurations, code changes, literally everything requires a 2-person review before impacting production. I have a lot of people email me and say that like there is a surprising amount of stuff that you would expect to be config is actually just like hard-coded, but whatever. Changing these variables also usually requires a sign-off by product, and changes can be tracked via the internal repo, so Twitch knows who made the change or product signed off on it. But I don't work for Twitch, so take it with a grain of salt. But if Twitch is ran like any other Amazon org, they knew this was happening. There you go. A lot of companies also keep their config in a repo and use a CI/CD pipeline to deploy config changes. Yeah, that's true. Although I don't think these things look like config file changes, because I think config is usually like a, I don't want to say a variable because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's like a word and then equals and then like some value or whatever, right? I don't think that the thing we looked at looked like config. It looked like a, but who knows? I could be retarded. What were we saying?
I'm trying to think because I have to remember what it is because I'm so old and I forgot. Hold on. My old brain is thinking. It's kicking up. Give it a second. Oh, I was scrolling through here. I'll find the answer shortly. Come on. Gonna have it. Why do you think they would hire? Just a question as I go through here. Why do you think they would hire someone with such an insane past?
I don't know how insane her past actually was.
Well, she got fired in the equivalent of in front of Congress, I guess.
LinkedIn, I can check.
Well, okay. Do you want to see that? I'll send you the video. Hold on. Okay, where are you? Here you go. That's in front of the fucking, their president, bro.
All right.
British Parliament, sorry.
Cash. As to international law and media impartiality, will the Attorney General be asked to provide a legal note, if not a full opinion, given, for example, that one of Ofcom's directors, Ofcom having itself full statutory responsibility and regulatory responsibility.
I don't know what the fuck this guy is saying. Sorry, let me pay attention harder.
Ofcom having itself full statutory responsibility and regulatory responsibility of all visual and oral media, including the BBC, is reported to be supporting posts this week itself, arguing that the government's support for Israel is a vile colonial alliance, referring to ethnic cleansing and genocide of Palestinians, and Ofcom must surely be told that it must deal with this at once as a matter of impartiality, quite apart from any criminal action that may be needed under terrorist or criminal law.
Well, I thank my honourable friend for his question. I'm sure that the attorney looks into it, and more generally just say I absolutely endorse those describing these attacks, calling them what they are, which are acts of terror by a terrorist organisation. Obviously, the BBC is editorially and operationally independent of government, but the Culture Secretary raised that specific issue with the BBC Director General last week.
Wait, what did I... Was investigating Ofcom?
No, that person that works for Twitch, that person's statements, that's about.
What were the statements that she made?
Well, you heard one of them, that Israel is a vile colonialist state that shouldn't be supported or something along those lines. I don't know. So it almost doesn't matter, even if she said like nothing. The fact would you hire George Santos if he was completely found innocent?
Well, I would say no, but that's because George Santos had like an insane fucking like public reputation and everything. I don't know if this.
Yeah, this is an insane public reputation.
Is it? Not? I have no idea.
That picture looks like an insane public reputation.
Wait, is it? How popular was this? People say a ton of shit. I'm sure there are 100 different like congressional hearings that have happened.
It was in the BBC. I mean, this is like a pretty fucking. Why do you always steel man this shit? Why not say, yeah, that's fucking stupid? I don't know why you would hire someone who's known for being an anti-Israel director to come on and be our trust and safety director. That's fucking stupid. I don't know why they would do it. They're actually brain dead. Dan Clancy, there's no one fucking upstairs. Why don't you just say that instead of trying to play fucking hard to get debate ball with me?
Because your mom said she wouldn't fuck me unless I made you really angry tonight, Daniel.
I fucking hate you.
She said, I gotta really piss off Daniel today or I'm not gonna get that good mama puss.
Man. This fucking just crazy days, you know? I'll tell you, I don't know how you use Twitter. Do you have like a special program you use? It's unusable for me right now. Like DMs, unusable. Messages and notifications, unusable. Well, messages is DMs.
I got a lot of those. Good death threats and all that.
Yeah, but how do you I can't even follow a conversation.
Oh, I don't ever. Well, you just click your thing and then you look at your replies and you go through there. You never like click the actual replies button. I've never used that before. Way too spammy. It used to be a long time ago that if you were a verified person,
you had the verified tab and it was so fucking useful.
Yeah, but...
remember that? Oh, you made a video. I think you might find it funny. Actually, it is funny.
Well, later there's still like videos I haven't even gone through today on stream.
Last video, and then I will leave.
Yeah, I saw this. It's funny.
It's more than funny.
Okay,
it's amazing.
I'll watch it after, okay? Because that's a 4-minute one.
No. What can I do to get you to watch it now? There must be something, because then I'll leave.
I'm gonna head out. I gotta take
care of stuff. Later, Muda.
Love you. Be careful, babe. Okay, I'm gonna finish this and I'm gonna click through my links and I'll work towards it, okay? All right, good luck.
That means it'll never happen. Fuck you.
We're working on it.
Fought it a lot.
Yeah, you were here for one of the sweatings, weren't you?
No, it was like the next day. Okay. I just missed it by a hair.
I'm at 12:42. Does he talk any more about this meme shit or?
But
good. But a lot of people don't understand too. The swattings were not like cops kicking the door down and storming in and us going like, ugh.
Yeah.
It was like our security company got a phone call.
Except the first time. The first time, yeah.
The first one seemed pretty.
The first
swatty.
and like the 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
like
first
Brett
one
was out there on his hands and knees with his arms up behind his head. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah. The first one was like the cops opened the door and they were looking at me and they're waving at me. I'm like, what? I'm in the middle of a live show, dude. I'm like,
I mean, as you're closing, as you're thinking about that, that was 40K congruent viewers that night.
But that wasn't the night everyone watched an empty room for 3 hours.
Yep. Oh, that was the bomb. That was the bomb.
You're thinking of Sharecast.
Okay, yeah,
Sharecast. That was when we had a credible bomb threat that forced an evacuation.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll let you know some secrets too.
Bomb threats and swatting. I mean, I can't imagine why you're tired.
Well, but it's not just that. I'm not tired. I want to work, but I want to work effectively.
Sure.
And so there are ways to do big shows. Like I can keep doing my morning show. There's no issue.
Yeah.
I require 0 employees to do that. So I kind of feel like I shouldn't get paid less for. Like, so I'll give you some stories. We've had instances of people who work here leaking private information to far leftists who are harassing and stalking us.
Oh, good.
Yeah. We've had instances of people stealing equipment, getting caught on camera. And it's just like, these things are normal. I totally get it.
Whose Fiero is that?
Wait, what? Hold on. I'm so sorry.
Far leftists. We've had instances of people who work here leaking private information to far leftists who are harassing and stalking us.
It's so hard without him saying anything. It's hard to know. Sometimes a lot of these people are just friends with each other. And by leaking information, it might literally just be like two people chatting. It's not like this crazy conspiratorial, like, oh, they're trying to stab. It's just like two people talking shit or whatever. Like, I get stuff through the grapevine. When I was friends with Lauren De Laguna, I would hear stuff through the grapevines from her about like stuff relating to people in like that in this world. And it's not like it was a crazy conspiratorial like leak to destroy the company. It's just like random shit that I hear, you know?
Oh, good.
Yeah. We've had instances of people stealing equipment, getting caught on camera.
Why wouldn't you call those people out? Who's stealing equipment? What the fuck? That's wild.
And it's just like, these things are normal. I totally get it.
Who's Fierro?
Do you think it's normal to have your employees stealing equipment from your small business?
What's that?
My brothers.
Okay, sweet.
It's cool.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You're talking about stealing stuff, and I just.
And you're like, I want that Fierro.
I want that Fierro.
Right when I got out, I was like, it's been a while since I've seen a Fierro.
He does.
I like the red one I saw though, and I remember. Anyway, I don't want to throw you off, but
no, but it's like, you know, this morning.
That's all I'm saying.
So it's we wrap the show Monday through Thursday around 11.
Yeah.
And then I have to go right to bed basically so that I can get enough sleep, and sometimes I don't. So then I wake up around 7:30, so I can eat breakfast, get ready, come in, and then try and figure out how to get the show done. As of recent, because we want to do Culture War, that means if I'm going to balance family and these shows and have the show be effective without dwindling into obscurity, I can't do 4 shows a week. You can't do it right now. Everybody's got content every single day of the week, so that means I need to do at least 5 days and then record extra content for the weekends so that I can have a persistent presence on the platform. Otherwise, YouTube punishes you. But it's also just about, like, are you a company that doesn't work 3 days out of the week? I mean, then people are going to go other places. If a coffee shop's closed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then
yeah,
no one's
we're
going
going
to
go watch elsewhere.
However, I can't do all of these things at the same time. I can't wake up at 7, go in, computer's fried, studio doesn't work, no backups were created. I have no means of producing the show that makes money to run the business. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to make sure that I run and maintain and build the system. The first Timcast IRL studio that we built, I built by myself. All of it. Now we're at the point where we've got multiple people and we've built this big studio. I don't know what is what. When I built the studio, I knew every output, I knew every input. Now I have no idea. So when the computer breaks, I'm like, I don't know why. Why can't I reboot the computer? I don't know. And so that means I can't turn it on. Where's the backup system? It was never set up. Okay, well, I can't do morning, night, and family stuff at the same time. Impossible.
Damn,
so
do you need a backup computer system? We don't got one of those. Oh, shit.
So at this point, it's a cascade of failures and, you know, straws on the camel's back where I'm like, okay, I don't think this is it. And so
he makes it sound like he wanted the studio set up to run without a producer there, like how ours runs. So how does he have 30 employees if he doesn't even have a producer for his live show? What the fuck is he? Where are all these employees at? What the fuck?
Your failure, though.
It is my failure.
Why, absolutely practice? How do you see it?
The person at the top.
Always. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it lies on you. Don't get me wrong. That's what they see.
I mean, I shouldn't rely on people. If I say the computer's broken, I need a backup studio, I should personally go and build a backup studio. The problem is, I can't do everything.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, but so there is something I can do. If I set up my own studio for my morning show, and I can make sure it works, and I can have, you know, youtube.com/TimCastNews, there will never be a failure ever again.
Yeah.
The show will run every single day. I will work a full day of work instead of a double day of work 5 days a week, and I'll make a lot of money doing it without doing a single ad read, all through programmatic YouTube ads. So if we've come to the point where I have to build the machines and run the show and be the CEO, then one of these things is I can't juggle them all.
Sure.
And so it seems like the most reasonable thing to do right now is literally just go back to doing the morning show. No Timcast IRL, single hosted, 0 employees, and then I can produce content, and that'll be it. And then I have to worry about running Timcast IRL.
Well, you twice today, I think you mentioned managerial issues.
Yeah, and so one of the reasons I've been talking about
right at you?
No, I'm not a
Okay,
manager.
I don't know.
I wish I was.
I was
We wouldn't have this problem.
I'm just trying to add some levity here.
I'm not convinced. I mean,
well,
I've been talking about the managerial crisis in this country for like a year, and without getting into personal issues on the show.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people, like, how's it all happening at once? It's like, exactly. It's like, no, we've been having like managerial struggles for a long time.
Yeah, because you have a good relationship with these guys, though. So it's like, how do you?
Yeah. Well, most people here, right?
Yeah. Well, of course.
But it's like, look at it this way: if everyone's 90% doing well, that extra 10% from each employee that they're missing, I have to do. And at a certain point, it's not possible.
Well, and the extra 10% is what each person has to do to actually get it to thrive. That's the difference between 90 and 100.
Well, I mean, the challenge is, right now, the big challenge is that anybody capable of doing it will do it on their own. And that's social media has created that potentiality, and that's fine. But if I go to someone who is talented and capable and I say, hey, we need a person who can film skateboarding, for instance, they're going to say, I'll just make my own YouTube channel and go film it myself. I don't need to work for you. And I'm like, fair point. You're right. So then we find someone, we're like, what about you? You seem to be able to, like, sure. And then 3 months goes by and we don't do anything.
Well, what's more your passion? Like, what's your enjoyment now? Do you still like doing it? This is it. Yeah.
And so that's why it's frustrating when I wake up in the morning and I'm like, holy crap, Trump on the Friday.
There is a challenge in finding people to work when you're doing like YouTube and Twitch and stuff. Finding people who want to do manager or production related stuff, because chances are if you're on-screen talent, you probably get along with the production people, and then because you have a friendly back and forth, eventually they want to be on-screen talent and they all end up wanting to do that anyway. Like, that can happen, but I don't know what He's not really giving any specifics, so it's hard to know what's actually happening here.
Yeah.
Look, I was like, and then there's so much I want to talk about. And
that was a big story.
I can't talk about any of it. Like one of the Krasensteins attacked Trump saying he's attacking Kamala for not being at McDonald's. Can he prove he was at 9/11 clearing out rubble? And I'm like, here's a picture of Donald Trump. That was from ABC News of down on a week after 9/11. Like, Trump just said he was down there helped a little bit.
Well,
Yes.
Allegedly, Tim Walsh is doing DoorDash, so you got that.
No, is that a joke?
Yes. But I just want to see what they would do.
I just stored it online. Thank you.
Yeah. My gut feeling is that he this is a gut feeling that I have, and I can't prove this because I don't know. This is what it feels like his business is set up as. It feels like he wants to do 4 shows a week where he basically just shows up, turns on the streams, okay, and then he sits in front of the camera and he talks about things. I don't think he does much in terms of show prep or research because it doesn't seem informed on anything, and he just repeats kind of like the talking points. I'm not like trying to talk shit. I'm just saying it doesn't seem like something that he does a lot of research for his shows. He probably has at least one employee to fly people in and do bookings and everything. He might have 2 people that handle that. There's him, Tim, and then he might have like a co-host. I'm trying to think now if he even has a producer for these shows or if it's all auto switching. Maybe he'll have a producer. But then it sounds like what he has on the side is he's got a ton of these other projects where he's like, bro, like you guys should come in, like we're friends, like come and like work. And so they kind of show up, they either hang out at the house, they hang out at the skate park, and Tim's like, we should like shoot content or do something. Like let's like, make some money and do stuff. And they're like, yeah, sure, sounds good. But there's not a creative director. There's not like anybody pushing them to actually do a project or create a show or do anything. So these people just basically hang out on Tim's property and they kind of hang out and do whatever. And he's like, maybe something will happen at some point. However, all of this was probably okay in the last year because they had that huge windfall from Russia, right? He was getting $5 million of extra money to basically do nothing extra. And that money was probably going basically exclusively to him. There's no way anybody else is getting any of that money. I would be surprised if anybody else had equity or shares in his business, although it's possible they did, but I'd be surprised if they did. So now that Russia money is gone, now Tim probably has to look at all of his different revenue streams and all of his different costs, and he probably has to start evaluating, okay, hold on, what the fuck do I have here that's like making me money, and what the fuck do I have here that's costing me money? And he's probably starting to axe a lot of the things that are costing him money and keep a lot of the things that are highly profitable. So things like the show, he kind of said it, right, when he's like, I can run this on my own. That's a very profitable venture, very low cost, very low overhead, right? So that feels like what's happening. There's no way he has 30 employees. He probably has 30 friends that are hanging out at the skate park and at his house and everything, and he's hoping that eventually they'll start making content or doing something, but they're not ever going to do that, yeah.
Believable, that's why I know. Yeah. I see there's a Newsweek article where they're like, rumors circulating on the internet that Donald Trump's McDonald's job was staged. And I was like, do they think that Trump applied at McDonald's and then showed up for work?
They're trying to...
No, go ahead.
I was going to say they're trying to kill him, so what do they think? He's just going to walk in there and be like, hey,
I know.
Serve some regular people?
Yeah, anywhere with guns is bad. Even your own shrubs at your golf course.
Yeah. And then I saw a bunch of people being like, he pre-screened all the people who were getting food. And I'm like, yeah, because they just want to get shot.
Well, what is he supposed to do?
Yeah, like, duh.
Well, so anyway, like, I'm all yesterday, like I'm seeing this stuff and I'm revved up. And I'm like, well, I have family stuff to take care of. I can't, like I'm spending time with my family. I can't just...
He says his family stuff a lot. Does he have like a sick parent or something? Or because he's single, right?
Well, what is he supposed to do?
Yeah, like, duh.
Well, so anyway, like I'm all yesterday, like I'm seeing this stuff and I'm revved up. And I'm like, well, I have family stuff to take care of. I can't, like I'm spending time with my family. I can't just do the show 7 days a week. There was one weekend where I was like, I think I'll do shows.
You tried to.
And then, my family doesn't get too happy about that.
I hear you.
Yeah, you can't do it.
You got to be happy outside of work as well.
And I got responsibilities to other people too. So
well, you'll lose your sanity. So, I mean,
no, I want to do the show.
You want to
I feel like you want to do it, but you don't want to do it, right?
No, I want to come in the morning and complain. Yeah. And I mean complain in a somewhat self-deprecating way. What I mean is there are things that I think people should be aware of, and I also want to express how I feel about the current goings-on. And it's a lot of people like watching it.
Yeah.
So I think the only reason I say this may be the last episode is that I have a bit of guilt of like the people who really are accustomed to and feel they need and that the world benefits from us doing the show.
Survivor's guilt.
Is that what it is?
I think that's a form of it.
No, that's not at all survivor's guilt. But okay.
Like folks who were waiting for this, like I still wait for the 10 a.m. If it's not there, then I'm like, what the F's going on?
So this show's an accident too. I mean, this show's a complete accident. The show wasn't supposed to exist. The reason why it's called In Real Life is because I do my morning show, and then I was like, I can do my morning show from the road. So I went on Joe Rogan's show, and I told them all, you're nuts. I'm going to build a van and go live down by the river. And I was only half kidding. I told them I was only half kidding. I built a van with computer studio.
I think I heard the video you posting. Like you had a van in the back.
Yeah, it's on this channel.
It's a really nice van, by the way, folks.
What kind?
Not anymore. I mean, it's a Ford like a
Ecoline?
It's clean.
F-150 or something. Like
no, you're right. It's like an Ecoline.
Yeah, and it's got it had
a candy van.
It's got the big top on it and everything. It's
got solar panels, external air conditioning, or like secondary air conditioning.
Off-road tires too, because he loves the van or the river.
Wait, what is this show? Maybe he does do other shows I'm just not aware of. Tim Pool in Real Life is the name of the show. Oh, shit. Uh-oh. Jesus, 10 years ago. Is that what he called it? Was that the name of the show, In Real Life? Oh my God, Timcast IRL. Sorry. Wait, what was he talking about? What was he talking about, this like van down by the river shit? Does he stream like outside and shit? That's how it started. Oh, okay, never mind, okay.
Sweet.
I thought he was like going around like doing like on location or like live streams in like cute area. Oh, okay, my bad. He's just talking about how the show's- Okay.
Oh yeah.
You got good tires on it.
That's just because they said we can go pre-off the tires.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, I don't know that about it. Actually, no. The first tires were small.
Oh, were they?
And
Okay.
someone told me like they're gonna explode, and I was like, okay, I better upgrade them. But the original idea, morning show done. Shout out to everybody. I'm currently hanging out in Austin, and come hang out, and we're gonna do Timcast in Real Life, where I just talk with random people.
Yeah, I do remember that was one of the first things you talked about, was like having like regular folk. Like I guess I might be the first regular folk on the job. Like you just get people plumbers once a week or something like that.
Well, the original plan was to sit down and sort of like change my mind, or what Charlie Kirk does. Be like, who wants to sit down and just have a conversation, and literally be like, hey, today in the news was this. Like, hey, what do you think about what's going on? And I'll show you the stories. And it was just because I like talking to people, but because of COVID, we couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah,
and so I was like,
I thought it was because of COVID was mainly the reason why you're doing that. Yeah,
couldn't travel anymore. And I used to fly on two flights every week when I worked for these other companies. So like,
during COVID, I just kept traveling, but it was very hard. You weren't supposed to, but it's like if you're short, you can just walk past people in the military and just keep moving.
Yeah, notice they're looking up.
Yeah, I'll be like, I gotta pee. I'll be right back. They're like, yeah, he'll come back. He'll be.
What is he talking about? If you're short, you can walk past the people in the military. Am I retarded? I traveled around a bit during COVID in the U.S. What were the military people for COVID? What?
During COVID, I just kept traveling, but it was very hard.
It was an attempt at a joke. I don't remember there being any COVID travel restrictions at all. Were there? I feel like you would get the notifications on planes would be like, sometimes there might be COVID restrictions in the state that you travel to. But I'm trying to remember if we even required, did we need a proof of vaccine if you were traveling domestically in the US? I don't remember if there was or not. I know that internationally you absolutely did.
You weren't supposed to, but it's like if you're short, you can just walk past people in the military and just keep moving.
Yeah, notice they're looking up.
Yeah, I'll be like, I gotta pee. I'll be right back. They're like, yeah, he'll come back. He'll be afraid, and then I just walk out the door. It's pretty good. I did an entire year in New York. Sorry if that's still a crime, I guess. But
yeah, we were in Jersey, and then
virus.
Some place had 14-day quarantines. Yeah, but none of it was enforced. I don't think. I don't remember, but
the show got very big.
Yes, it did.
It got big, and then I was like, okay, well, I mean, maybe we'll do something like this. Like, don't stop now. I mean, we seem to we're on a roll.
Yeah.
There is some reality that I think I've talked about before, though. But I used to get on YouTube.com/Timcast.
Do you think that Pokemon and other Twitch streamers are getting paid to talk to Sanders, or are they doing it for free? You should ask them. Shouldn't they have to disclose that?
That I think I've talked about before, though. But I used to get on YouTube.com/Timcast. The 4 p.m. video, a single half-an-hour video, would get anywhere from 300 to 500,000 views.
Right.
Your 4 p.m. was my favorite back in the day.
Yeah, and I never really did any legit ad reads. So like, I'm talking like Daily Wire style ad reads.
I'll tell you, me neither. But that's just because not a great reader.
Well, if I did sell them, 500,000 could be like 10 to 15 grand.
Yeah.
For one read on one video. Imagine if I was getting that every single day. I wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
And so then I had YouTube.com/Timcast News, and between the two of them, it was like 3 to 4 million per day, and I think it was upwards of like 60, 70 million a month.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, and I will stress now, like a lot of these other channels are getting like 100 to 150 million, but those are including shorts, which is a lot easier to produce. So but
you have a clips channel though.
For IRL?
Yeah.
The clips are on IRL.
It's the same channel.
Yeah, same channel.
It is the same channel.
Yeah, same channel. Post later, yeah.
Yeah, and there's pros and cons to that. It's tough. It's hard. It's like if the people are going to watch the show every night anyway, then they don't need a notification.
Yeah, ours is both, where you follow that algorithm, but then it doesn't know if you want to be a long show or a short show, and you can't figure out any of it.
Exactly.
But then doesn't it change too how when people are searching for the show, you get a clip, and they want the 20-minute version?
The 20-minute
version of you say you do clips, or maybe not IRL, but your morning shows or anything.
The morning shows have always been segments that I would just talk about throughout the day.
Yeah.
And what I was going to say is when we started IRL, it cannibalized the morning show. So the morning show peaked at the 34th biggest podcast in the world, and when IRL launched, half the viewers stopped watching that and started going to the audio Timcast IRL show. And I said, no, I don't know. People probably like the conversation nature of it more than the monologuing show. But same, So then now the Tim Pool morning show, Tim Pool Daily News show or whatever, is not in the top 200. Sometimes it jumps up to like 190, but then it falls off again. And Timcast IRL, I think, was recently like number 160 in the world. But that's audio side. YouTube side, we do get, it's a big show and we get a lot of views.
20,006.
Is that what your number is?
No. Oh. I'm guessing it's lower.
Yeah. But, so anyway, it's like, it comes to a point where it's like, now I'm working 16 hours a day for a diminishing return.
Right.
Whereas before I could have been getting 60, 70 million just doing a morning show, being done with work by 4 p.m., being able to do family stuff, plan
what is all this family stuff?
Investments, maybe work on skateboard videos. If I'm fucking done with work by 4 p.m., being able to do family stuff, plan investments, maybe work on skateboard videos. If I wasn't doing, and so IRL is basically a diminishing return where now there's just 15 Tim Pool videos going up every single day and only so many Tim Pool fans. So it's like if I consolidated it down, would we get 40% of the IRL viewership to just watch the morning show again, and is IRL just cannibalizing? Would we lose? How much would we lose? I don't know. But the issue is the Tim Pool morning show requires 0 employees, 0 management. It requires nothing. I'm not going to deal with lawsuits. I'm not going to deal with security issues. Literally just wake up, handle it all by myself, and run a successful show. I wouldn't have to rely on members to sustain the staff required to do a show like this or anything, you know?
Have you been sued a lot?
Yes.
What is the staff required? Where is the staff? What are they doing?
I would assume, yeah. Not as a negative, I just assume.
And I'll tell you, like, what the problem I have with it is, I think, you know, I don't want to throw him under the bus, but I just don't think anybody cares. When I say that I had to write a check for 30 grand because someone here fucked up, and then it's just like, keep calm and carry on, not my fault. And I'm like,
write a check for 30,000 for what?
Yo, I'm paying myself less than my morning show makes. If I just did my morning show, I'm putting more money in my pocket.
Yeah.
The company has a profit. That profit stays in the company. At the end of the year, the profit stays there so that we can make sure that there's a buffer. So the company makes money. At the end of the year, there's some profit. It will go to me automatically. And then I try to make sure there's money aside so that everyone gets paid. But I do kind of feel like we're at the point.
What? Wait, I'm so confused. What is he? He's talking about he's talking like somebody who doesn't own a business. Hold on.
The company has a profit. That profit stays in the company. At the end of the year, the profit stays there so that we can make sure that there's a buffer. So the company makes money. At the end of the year, there's some profit. It will go to me automatically. And then I try to make sure there's money aside so that everyone gets paid. But I do kind of feel.
Well, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm being uncharitable. When he says there's money set aside so that everybody gets paid, aren't they automatically paid like every month through payroll? But maybe if I'm being really charitable, maybe he means he gives employees bonuses based on money left over in the account at the end of the year. But then he also says that he gets all the money automatically. Why would he get all the money automatically? Unless it's just a pass-through entity, in which case he has a pass-through entity with 30 employees? Are you limited on how many employees like an LLC can have? I have no idea.
Point where it's and end it all except for, so there's the reason I say it may be the last is we had a conversation today, Allison and I, about what's the most effective means of managing the issue. And it's, okay, maybe what we do is we end 70%. We would keep Timcast IRL, a skeleton crew to have it operate, the morning show, and the boonies. We'd have one single secondary investment outside of the shows.
How many employees do you have? Employees? I think like full-time? 2, maybe? And then I've got like 8 other people I think that I employ through various, like I would call them contractors or whatever, but.
And that would allow me more time to be hands-on to make sure that it operates properly. But that's more so just like, yeah, but doing that is still trying to justify why we have to keep.
No, he's saying he keeps a buffer to make sure he has money there to continue paying his team because his revenue is not guaranteed to sporadic. How sporadic is his revenue? I don't believe that.
Keep working as hard as possible.
Is your property more for your crew or because it's something you wanted?
Like doing the Free Damastan Boonies show.
All that stuff, yeah.
Is what I wanted.
Okay.
And it's like, there's actually several big components to it. Skateboarding is dead.
It's fun.
The skateboard industry collapsed.
Yeah, oh, for sure it did.
And
I used to be a poser, thank you.
Oh, that's well, you tried.
Well, I would just get high and then I would watch my friends skateboard. I had a Cheech and Chong board for a minute.
What year was that? 91?
96.
Yeah, so like I love skateboarding.
I do
and,
too. Well, not really.
We've got, some of our buddies are some, big pros and they love skateboarding.
Yeah, they're
and
awesome.
everyone's like, I've talked to some of the biggest guys in the industry.
Okay, I don't know. Oh shit, fuck. Let me do 3 links I've got open real quick, hold on.
I'm calling.
13 minutes, bruv. Twitch creator Hasan Piker linking to donations for banned streamers. Oh, that's so pathetic. Oh my god. When you've been a guest, did you notice the hustle and bustle of staff in the studio? At Tim's house, no, there were always a lot of people there, but I just assumed they were like friends and shit. They're just like people hanging out. I don't think I saw people like working. It's just like the best example. This is like Hasan activism, is like posting a fucking link somewhere. Already opened that. Behaze, leftist death threats. I'm actually seriously thinking about solving the small d problem myself. Nice. Chat logs between mods and channel owners of Sam Cedar's Minority Report. It's honestly sad seeing how captured they are, absolutely incapable of listening. The left really is in danger where this is the norm. If you're an inch to the right of them, you're a fascist. Let's see. Ethan Brain got broken and he needs to take a vacation. When Holocaust trauma is leveraged over war crimes, you get a response like Ethan Klein's. Fuck all genocide deniers, death marches in northern Gaza now. The world would be a better place. Wait, what? Like there are death marches happening is what he means, I'm guessing, right? Or I'm guessing. Ethan Klein has always had bad judgment, disbanding and defaming Hasan, praising sexual assault FouseyTube and grifter Jason Nash and Liver King. All the way back to Trisha Paytas. Klein is terrible. Blah, blah, Jesus. Sam's okay. I don't care if Ethan said he hates BB or whatever. Calling us on pro terror is a heinous smear. Jesus. Oh, it's the majority report, not the minority report, too. Based. This was the chat log when Sam Cedar was talking to us. What does Destiny have to do with the drama Caller was talking about? There's no sound way to defend Israel. It's the inevitable pathway to become a demon. Did Ethan mention the murder rapes in Israeli prisons between t-shirt promotion? Okay. Tim Pool's 30 employees are hard at work writing Twitter comments in his basement. Oh, good one. Oh, damn. Wait, was this the same clip? Jesus, this show has fallen off. They never got as many views as I thought, actually, though. Video views, negative 10 million. Does that mean they were deleting videos? Jesus. Okay. Oh, and then this is timestamped. All right, let me go through these. We got 4 Tim clips from that show, so we don't have to watch the whole thing. Let me watch these real quick.
This is probably pushing the limit of what I, as a CEO and host, can accomplish on my own. And so that means we bring in external management, which would be a strategic investment, partial buyout, and then you'll end up with another company running everything.
Okay.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
Wait, what? Why can't you just hire managers? Or like hire like or appoint like a COO or something, no?
Okay.
Pretty much.
Wait, what?
What I, as a CEO and host, can accomplish on my own. And so that means we bring in external management, which would be a strategic investment, partial buyout, and then you'll end up with another company running everything.
Okay.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
I hate that sound. I don't like it. I think I don't.
And then what happens is
I can lead people. I've led many people. Throw me. I'm just saying,
guy in a suit shows up, and I just think the cost is too much. I think there's no way around it. We've got to shut everything down, and if we wanted to salvage IRL, we got to get it back down to 2 employees.
Okay.
Are you on the spectrum? And
probably.
Wait, how do I look at this? Oh, watch full video. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Pushing the limit of what I, as a
don't like it. I think just
shows up, and I just think the cost is too much. I think there's no way around it. We've got to shut everything down, and if we wanted to salvage IRL, we got to get it back down to 2 employees.
Okay.
Are you on the spectrum? And I don't mean that as a negative.
I would believe the answer is no.
Okay, because you're very, very very direct. Yeah, my friend Matt McClory's
I think that's exasperation, not autism.
Okay, well maybe that's true. Maybe
because we've not talked about this stuff on the show before.
Oh, you've never done it. Okay.
Yeah, like I've never come on and be like, I think I'm on the show.
Yeah, this is our first. Well, you have sometimes, but it's like some dark holes. Like I said, like a year ago, you had like a whole week over you were like in the down and dumps, and everyone's like, don't give up. That's when you were picking up the rock up the hill.
Yeah,
that was like about at least a year ago.
Okay.
Can make sure a computer works for you.
So like, let me grab a switch out here real quick. Help you. So Blake says, bro, why do you keep saying you make so much money but then refuse to hire some people like IT? We have IT people. It's because the answer isn't spending money. Money is never the answer. You know, I've met a lot of people in my day who say things like, if only I had.
Wait, what? Hold on.
See, they're doing their job, so somebody here can make sure a computer works for you.
So like
hold on.
I know you're not. I'm not either.
Yeah, there may be a CEO who's like, if I introduce this product, we can see 3,000 deaths per year, and they start laughing about it. You know?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, there are people that actually have those jobs where they have to decide how many people die, or do we get the airbags fixed?
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a rough job.
Fight Club.
Fight Club is
when it does the equation.
Yep.
If the cost of a lawsuit is greater, if the cost of a lawsuit is less than the cost of the recall, they don't recall.
Yep. And that's just insane. They have to make that choice. They're like, I guess this baby seat's flimsy.
Yep. That's wild, man.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, but somebody's got to do that job. See, they're doing their job, so somebody here can make sure a computer works for you.
So like, let me grab a switch out here real quick so I can help you. So Blake says, bro, why do you keep saying you make so much money but then refuse to hire some people like IT? We have IT people. It's because the answer isn't spending money. Money is never the answer. You know, I've met a lot of people in my day who say things like, if only I had money, I could do X. And I'm like, that is not true for literally any successful person. Successful people got hired, got their jobs because they were doing something already.
Right. Yeah.
So like my first YouTube video, for the first 3 months of me making YouTube, I was losing money. And
they're not talking about you being a startup, my dude. They're talking about you hiring employees. What do you mean?
I was like, I don't know. What else am I going to do? Yeah. I'm like kind of bored. Let me record a video. And then record some videos. The views started to go up. And I did the last night in Sweden thing. And that was like a few months in, and I had one big hit. And I was like, oh, I'm in Sweden now, I'm getting a bunch of views. And that generated a bunch of buzz. And then once I got back, I was finally making like $2,000 a month or something like that.
Nice.
And I was like, hey, look at this. I'm not losing money anymore. My savings is no longer burning up. And then I was like, let's just make more videos and see what I can do. And I was doing for like, I don't know, like a year. It was probably just one 10-minute video every day at 4 p.m. That was it. That's all it was. And I was probably making like 60, 70,000 a year. And I was like,
just doing one 10-minute video?
Yep, nice. One 10-minute video. Oh. And it started to go up. And then I remember off of one 10-minute video, I was in Jersey, I was in Bayonne, and I hit 6 figures. And like when I was working at Disney, I was getting paid a bit. They paid me a lot of money.
What did you do at Disney? Why didn't I know that?
So it was Fusion. It was ABC News Univision joint venture.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and I was one of their senior talent. And that was a ridiculous company. But so when I left, I'm like, I've got a lot saved. I had a couple $100,000 that I'd saved getting paid all this money from this company. You know, like I basically saved all my money always. Worked at Vice, saved it all, then went to Fusion, saved it all. And when I left, I was like, okay, so several months, the money's just going down. And I'm like, I'm sitting there thinking like, man, if I don't turn this around, if I keep if I use this money only right now to live, maybe I can stretch it out for 4 years. You know what I mean? And then try and find ways to make money. If I invest and try and go the media route, I'm burned out in a year because flights, hotels, and then after the Sweden thing, I was net positive like $2,000 every month. And then I think it was about a year after that, I looked. It was back when when full.
Something is off. It's almost like he wants to quit. Well, it sounds like he's just trying to cut costs now, and he's looking for an excuse to do it, especially now that he doesn't have that fat Russian money coming in.
Screen was around, and they showed the daily amount of revenue every day, and I saw that it was like $50 a day, and I was like, holy crap, I'm getting $50 a day.
Yeah.
As long as I don't spend $50 a day, I'm making money. And I just did it because I wanted to do it. And then what happened was a lot of people were creating secondary channels in case they got the first one banned, which is stupid because it still breaks the rules.
Yeah.
So I made Timcast News. YouTube chose the name too. Like,
oh yeah.
Well, so I had a Google Plus page or something, and then it turned it into I don't know. That's why YouTube.com/Timcast has Tim Pool, and YouTube.com/Timcast News has Timcast.
Right. Your news is your 4 p.m. and your pool is your 1 and 9.
The pool was at 4 p.m.
You don't do the news anymore, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do the morning show.
Oh, right.
Oh, no, give me one.
Right.
Okay, and then
can make sure a computer works for you.
So like, let me grab a switch out here real quick so I can help you. So Blake says, bro, why do you keep saying you make so much money but then refuse to hire some people?
What is this?
Can make sure a computer works for you.
So like, let me grab a switch out here real quick so I can help you. So Blake says, bro, why do you keep saying you make so much money but then refuse to hire some people? Like,
okay, what is this?
I want to stress this too because people are like, Tim, don't quit. I'm like, I'm not saying I'm quitting. I'm saying IRL. I have a morning show that I can do entirely on my own without any support at all.
Yeah.
And it is extremely difficult to do all of this at one time.
Question for you then: what do you want to do in real life?
Well, I would do this if possible. So I'm going to do the morning show, which I think the strategy is like shave everything down to the core, morning show, produce the content, and then from there regrow.
It would be fun.
Reboot.
Something fun.
A reboot of sorts. Do you think?
Yeah, IRL times. So we are we range from like we're consistently the top 10 live streams in the world.
Yeah.
In terms of viewership, in terms of super chats, we've consistently been the #1 human being hosted show. Because the VTubers make way more than us.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're doing a live show, but you haven't.
Those are like the robot ladies or something.
Anime woman.
Yeah.
Okay. You'll make more.
that's.
Hey Destiny, no matter what you do, you'll never get back on Twitch. You're stuck here on Kick getting 1K viewers. You're a failure, just like your political movement. You're nothing more than a bitter failure. Thank you.
That's the deal.
But so that's great. But it's also just I don't know. It's been 4 years, and we reached the point where I think. So here are the challenges. Clearly, we got to fire people. The problem is everyone's essential to a certain degree. And so that means the show's not going to function if we start.
You have 30 essential employees for a show with like 4 cameras and some microphones? What are you doing? Wait, what? I don't understand why they need so many people to run this.
To get rid of people. So then it's just like, do put the show on hiatus and start reassessing how we need to find and hire people. And then what do? We wait 3 months of going through the hiring process and burning money so we can be like, who do we find? Who's going to be able to run this properly? And no. Or I just be like, look, I need to make sure that my show runs in the morning so I can live and feed my family and pay my bills.
Why does he keep saying feed his family? My understanding is Tim is single with no children. What is he talking about? Where did this family stuff come from? What is happening?
Waking up and not having a show for my morning show, I'm like, okay, well, who's paying the bills? If it's not going to get done, I don't have people who's going to run even that. It's annoying when we try and do Cast Castle, it fails. Cast Castle 2.0 comedy, it fails. Boonies, it fails. And I'm like, but that's ancillary investment, and that's my failure. I can't make it work. I get it. But when those projects result in me being unable to do the core show, which pays the bills, then it's just like, we're going to stop.
Yeah, you got subscriptions. Subscription models are where it's at, because then it frees you up to do...
Who makes the product for the subscribers?
That's up to you. Basically, you get to make whatever you want.
Sure. So
whenever you want.
So IRL only exists because we have members. If every single member quit, IRL ceases to exist. Period.
Yeah, memberships is legit, dude. The Discord is so popping. I just did a game jam with a bunch of people from the Timcast Discord.
Yeah, it's probably a good time.
We all these developers over 2 weeks developed video games, and then they did this contest. There were like 16 entries, and then they voted. They got down to 5 finalists, and then they had me come in with another guest judge, and we played the games live. And they're like, we love everything you're doing, and we not they didn't say we worship Timcast, but they're like, dude, they're people that are like subscribing to the company. The games were awesome, by the way. Biggest Dickus Architectus was my favorite. It was one of the winners. It was a really cool game of like physics and stuff. So that was like an untapped market. I'm like, yo, if we hosted like a video game judgment thing where developers were just constantly creating games, passing them in, and then there was like a $1,500 prize that went to the winner. And
you might get like 2,000 people watching, maybe 10. I don't know if that's a big market.
You create the market. This is the point. It's like you set the
for
trend.
Video games, that's not bad.
What's that?
I think for video games, that's not bad.
No, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And like it's like another way to garner fans and give back to the community that's subscribing, and also to make money and to pay people that are up and coming developers. Like that was just like 2 hours for me. It was 2 hours of work.
Tim, would you do IRL instead of the morning show? Like, do you have a preference of
IRL? Can't sustain itself.
Can't sustain itself, even though
IRL requires the members to exist as a show because we need drivers, we need guest booking, hotel, travel accommodation.
Drivers, guest booking, hotel, accommodate. What is he talking about? All of that is everything he just said is just one person for booking, and then have the person call an Uber, or have the guy that does the booking order an Uber. What are we talking about here? He just named all the jobs for one person.
Even though IRL requires the members to exist as a show because we need drivers, we need guest booking, hotel, travel accommodation.
We could also do no guests. We don't need guests.
Yeah, they're worthless.
It's like it's great having them.
He's been saying naughty things.
And we can. We can. But that show me and Phil did was so awesome. Like we could just hang out. We don't need to fly people in every day. We could do like guests once a week or twice a week.
Old school.
Back when it was you and Adam, it was just as entertaining.
I mean, that's actually what I was saying is one of the core ideas is to just get rid of everything but the skeleton crew.
Yeah, and then just have guests whenever.
We can tell the guests if you want to come on the show, you drive yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, no more covering your planes, Dave.
This was the first time you did.
What do you mean?
I feel like I Ubered myself to every episode, but I'm trying to think. I drove myself to some, but that's because I like to rent cars. I might have Ubered myself by choice because I just like to drive myself. And I think I had to get a ride back because they lived way out in the middle of nowhere. So he does have drivers, I guess. But like, it's a driver. It's a person who drive a car. Like,
I always would book myself.
Oh, really?
I never wanted to burden anybody with.
No, he's such a nice man.
Yeah,
we can get some people first class.
They jumped on it, and yeah, can you?
Yeah, let's do skeleton crew.
Well, we'll think about it.
Why are you flying people first class?
This was the first time you did.
What do you mean?
I always would book myself.
Oh, really?
I never wanted to burden anybody with.
No, he's such a nice man.
Yeah,
we can get some people first class.
They jumped on it, and yeah, can you?
Yeah, let's do skeleton crew.
Well, we'll think about it.
But that's when you started blowing up too, Tim. Like OG fans, you and Adam, and then young gentleman came around.
Oh, who's that guy? How long has he been here?
We have so many hosts
So
now.
yeah, it was you guys are 40K likes a night. Remember ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna wear my MAGA beanie if you give me 40K likes tonight.
Oh,
but that was also during COVID.
True.
And so
Okay,
viewership on everything for people locked in their homes was massive.
But also
kill you for wearing
They
that.
called it lightning in a bottle. You and Adam, your old school friendship, like kindling into this business. Really, it was like just crazy energy.
You know, look, the show was supposed to be on the street. It was supposed to be out of a vehicle where I would interview regular people and just hang out and do a podcast. I was talking with regular folks.
Yeah, it changed up a lot.
It can.
It's too burdensome.
We got so many hosts. We got Phil, Libby, Seamus when he feels like it, Hannah Claire, Raymond, me, Serge. I'm so glad you're talking again.
I like that Ian's naming names.
Dude, I'm dropping.
It's all of them. It's all their fault.
I'm going back to the Ross Restaurant apparently, my friends.
And like, God, we can have other people come in too. There's so many people that
you're saying positive things.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. Like
he's not
people that work at Timcast. Like Wesley's hilarious. Carter Banks is awesome.
Okay.
Where is the